I'm gonna go ahead and start this thing up.
Yeah, no, absolutely, bro.
They can keep that ball rolling. We gonna be getting nasty.
When you got this many people saying it's between 3 and 4.
Yeah, no, that's
like a cross
that says
between
a lot.
3 and 4. That says a lot.
Yeah, no, that's definitely says 3 and 4 with the destruction of Bad Company 2.
Yes,
that's the best way.
Crazy.
The destruction is on point. I can't wait for that. Sledgehammering the floor.
Yeah.
C4 to the ceiling, bringing it down. I mean, again, it reminds me of the finals. Because the finals, it was doing a lot of that shit too. So, you know, it's like people, you can tell, but you can tell people are sleeping on the finals as well, right?
Yeah.
Again, it's different when you're in a battlefield setting because you're dealing with so much more of a map and so much more like shit that's going on, but still. Getting stuff set up here still, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if we're live, if you guys can hear us at all. I'm trying to pull everything up right now. It says that we're live. I'm pulling up the broadcast right now. It says, Living Split Screen is live. Been live for a minute. What's happening? What's shaking, bacon? I've been saying that. I've been saying it a little bit more often here recently. I don't know why.
What's shaking bacon?
What's shaking, bacon?
Bring that shit back.
Been hitting people with it. Telling people what's up. All right, what's going on? What's shaking, bacon?
Bring it back.
Tell people to feel
like it.
Elijah Vasquez says, I can hear y'all. Hey. Laura Chaos said loud and clear still. That's what I like to. That's what I like to see. We got Nixie coming in saying, good afternoon, everyone. Web Dave came in early with the hit the like button. Hey, appreciate that. Delroy said, just saying hi, got a roll at 45, playing a little Wu Chang. Hey, you know, I'm 100% on board with you playing a little Wu Chang. You know, if anybody understands, it is definitely me. Haven't played much more this week of Wu Chang as I would like to, but you know, all things considered, I think we're doing all right. Is my video looking a little weird? Let me know if my video looks a little weird, chat. Made some changes again, changed a little camera angle and whatnot. Still got to get everything pulled up here. I also got to share the stream out. I have not done that either. If you guys are on X, otherwise known as Twitter, go ahead and share the stream out for us if you can. Hit a little 1-2. You know, I really want the Galaxy Fold. I'm not even gonna lie. That Fold 7 is looking juicy. I
thought about it. I thought about it, but it was gonna take. It wasn't releasing when I switched over. I was gonna have to wait until that Friday. But I thought about it. I had what was one of the first phones that had the hinges on it? God dang it. I can't even think about it.
Hinges? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I've always had slide
before they had foldable screens. They had God, what phone was it? Anyways, it doesn't matter. Oh, God, I can't remember what phone.
I mean, you had
I've played with the dual screens, right? They are cool, especially when you're on the internet, right? But it looks dope. It does. Which one do you like? Do you like the one that folds
the new one,
down,
the Fold 7?
No, that folds.
The fold sideways.
They got folds. Okay, so
yeah, fold sideways.
Horizontal fold.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, for on the internet and stuff, and for reading shit and doing that kind of stuff, it's dope. It's dope as hell. It is a little bit bulky still.
It's actually the same size as a Note 7.
Correct. It's the same size.
I mean,
as Note 7,
fucking
how
sorry.
It feels when you pull it
S25.
out. Yeah, at the S25. When you pull it out, though, it does feel a little bit different. Hey, the old ones did. Maybe I'm just wrong. Anyways, I thought about it. They are dope as hell. I'm not gonna lie, they are dope as hell.
Every time that I see it, I mean, again, like I already don't game on the phone, so it's like I really don't see the point of me doing it. But all things considered, it's still fucking cool. Just the concept. It conceptually sounds really cool, and not only that. It's one of those like futuristic things that you always hoped would be a certain way. And I've seen some of the earlier fold phones, and I've seen people like around with them or whatever, and you can see kind of the creases in their phone that when they've had it for some time. And I definitely don't like that. I don't want to see creases in my phone. But we are getting better with screen technology, so it's like it ends up kind of working itself out. So super dope. Decado with the 10 bones with the exotic cash. He came in here and said, what a week. Titan Quest 2, it's EA. Battlefield invents fucking Zampella We Trust 6. WoWs and Darksiders is back, baby. Hey. That Darksiders tease was dope. I'm kind of off of it a little bit because I haven't played. I feel like I'm behind in Darksiders. I played 1, I played 2, I didn't finish 3. And again, 3 would be more of like my ilk, but I do kind of miss the more action adventure style of it because I was listening to people this week talk about it since that announcement came out. I believe that was yesterday or maybe even the day before that. And they were like, "Oh, I hope that doesn't carry over that Souls mantra they did with Darksiders 3." And with them showing all 4, and definitely leading with war again, I think they're going to lean back into that action-oriented bag because I do miss that part of it. Darksiders is just super fun to play, but I do want to play 3. And I want to play through Genesis, the shooter, yeah,
the action RPG.
Yeah, I want to play through that. That's good co-op
version.
That's good co-op.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good co-op.
What I seen.
I've got it on PC, so I can pick it up.
Nixie says the Fold 5 isn't bulky, 7 is def not. Yeah, no, the Folds just look super fucking dope. I mean, again, if I had an option, my only thing with that is I like to put life-proof cases on my phone because, again, I am the dude who I keep my phone for. I'll be the dude who will keep his phone for the next decade if I don't have a real reason to upgrade. You know what I mean? Sure. And I feel like I've always kind of been that way. So that's my only thing why I wouldn't want to do that. I think the only thing that I would like is if they can figure out, whether it be through the magnets or whatever the case, where I can have a slidable keyboard. If I can have a keyboard that I can attach to my case, I would kill for a slide. I don't even need the extra screen. Just give me a slidable keyboard. That matter of, again, that's there's some attachments that they got that's in a Kickstarter right now that's literally a slidable controller. You mount it to the back of your phone. It's a case essentially, and then you just slide it down and boom, you have your controller right there. And stuff like that, I could see me playing on my phone maybe every now and then or whatever the case. But having a whole Razer Kishi, like I gotta take my case off. Razer Kishi doesn't have the extension on the USB-C port, so it doesn't fit quite right, and it's just like all these additional steps. And again, I'm not the dude who plays the games on the phone anyway. I'm not doing all of this. Part of the reason I don't play on Switch, so I guess it is what it is. Mishi says Battlefield 6 made me realize I no longer need a Bluetooth. BF6 got me hard. Ooh. Nick says, still, I have a bulk case on my Fold 5, no issues. Okay, cool. So, I mean, if they got good cases, then I mean, that kind of solidifies. But again, I like life proof. Having these fucking life proof cases has been such a blessing. I love it. Decado says Zampella just loves making games. You can tell. We'll see, man. They still got to release it. They still have to release the product. So we'll see what ends up happening. I do like them coming out and saying that, hey, our main mode is the classes are separated. Now, there's still some minutia in there as far as guns and stuff goes. And we do know that the option to it being kind of ubiquitous, you can have it locked or unlocked. You're going to have that option. But they came out and said that their main mode is it being locked. I thought that was really dope. Let's see. We had fun speculation in here as well. He says it's gonna be fun playing Battlefield with you bros. Hey, Mav, yes, I hope you're locked in. I hope you're streaming next Saturday. Me and Pong are gonna be live on Living Split Screen with Battlefield 6 beta. I got a beta code. I don't know, Pong. Did you get a beta code?
I've got yeah, and I got to hook up Mav because Mav doesn't have one, so I'm hooking up Mav because I got one from Twitch. But nice. I got my email, but I got my email also from EA because I signed up for for the Battle Labs.
I did too. They didn't send me shit, but
I got the email just yesterday saying that you're automatically in if you got this email. So
which is dope.
As long as you're linked, your
also
account has to be linked.
If you're EA Play Pro, you're guaranteed access as well.
Yes, correct. Yep. So I'm locked in.
So super dope. But yeah, next weekend, that's what we're going to be jumping into. I'll be off as well. So it might just be an all day Battlefield event for as long as we can, at least, as long as nothing else is going on. Again, fucking school starting up soon too. So we'll see. That's perfect though. It's a perfect weekend for it to happen. Not gonna lie, the weekend right before school starts back up, you might get some youngins in there that might be jumping into Battlefield, talking with their buddies and whatnot when they jump in there at school. Be like, yo, did you play that Battlefield beta, bro? It's better than Call of Duty. And that's going to be an interesting conversation to have as well today. People are just making the comparisons and continuously coming out. Because I see people like, oh, I need Battlefield to be good to provide competition to Call of Duty. Battlefield is not competition to COD. Battlefield can take away some of the attention from COD, yes. Right. But Battlefield's competition has never been Call of Duty. It's been they've been fighting for attention for sure, just like the same way Fortnite has been getting the main attention, the way Call of Duty has been getting the main attention. But Call of Duty will never be Battlefield. Their ground war mode, like I spoke previously, will never hit the same. Battlefield is what it is for a reason. Call of Duty's closest competitor, just to give y'all a tease, was X-Defiant. And X-Defiant couldn't make it. So, other than that, there is nothing else currently on the market to provide competition to COD other than COD, because it releases every year. So, and then Battlefield, I did try out, what is it, Delta Force? I think that was the one that we were talking about. Yeah. Because we were talking about the controller support and everything being in it finally or whatever. I tried it out, got the sensitivity feeling decent or whatever, but Paul, Delta Force ain't Battlefield. It ain't the same. Although
people said it had feelings like
it had some feelings when because I was playing medic. And I was right back in it. People were going down. My first match was a little rough because I was trying to figure shit out, get the sensitivity right and all that. But my second match, though, I was MVP with fucking heals. Because of fucking Delta Force, the way their healer works is he has a gun, he has a healing gun that you can shoot at people. And it shoots healing darts. And the other thing,
like 2042.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, exactly. And then you also have you have the EpiPen itself, so he'll run up on you. Yep. Get up. Bro, everybody was dying around me. I was going out in combat, crawling. You can fucking jump onto people and shit, getting them up. Bro, I was second game ever playing. I was fucking MVP with the most heals in the fucking game. I had like 40 revives or something that match or some shit. I was fucking on it, getting shots off. I was getting used to it. But like I've mentioned here before, when I start getting that, I would rather be playing something else. All Delta Force made me feel like it's like, damn, maybe I need to go download 2042. I feel like playing Battlefield right now. Yeah. That's what I would rather be doing. And that's always more of a me thing than anything. Right. MF Great says that's like saying Counter-Strike Go is COD. Yeah, no, it's not even in the same realm of existence. Completely played different. But that's more comparable in that way, but it even plays different. Like CSGO's competition would be what is the game from Riot? Valorant. It would be more like that because the games play similarly. It's again, you're talking about arcade versus an arcade shooter, which Call of Duty is, versus Battlefield, who is what is meant to feel a little bit more similar in some ways.
Right. Mav, check your DMs if you're listening, brother. I sent you the stuff, so
tell me
if it works or not. So
and Jago says COD will be just fine. Yeah, Call of Duty is always going to be Call of Duty because again, the other thing, the big misconception about Battlefield as well, Battlefield is skill based. You will be filtered out. You either shout out to Slobo and Forte, because Slobo was mentioning that he doesn't like the vehicles and shit in Battlefield. I don't get that. I hear you. I get it.
The planes and helicopters, I can't do.
I get it. I get it. Vehicles? But either you have to be the person to sacrifice and play engineer, or avoid them. But I get you. It's not for everybody. People always have the complaint of, I got to travel all this distance and to get a kill, and then I die. And it's like, it's not for everybody. Call of Duty has been always more straightforward. That's why I don't like COD getting into this bag where it's like, oh, now we need to be more like Battlefield, and it just doesn't hit right.
Well, East Side, even broken, I had a lot of fun with Battlefield. So those of us that are massive Battlefield fans, we get enjoyment usually out of all the broken shit. It's actually been broken for longer than that. You can go all the way back to Battlefield 3 and say it's been broken. In fact, people were bringing up how bad Bad Company 2 was at one point.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Brought it back up into DMs2, and I forgot other people have been telling the stories because everybody noticed. Again, we're going to talk about Battlefield 6 here as we get into the show. But everybody noticed that the shotties are
they're broken.
Yeah, they're broken. But everybody started bringing up, and I had totally forgot that in Bad Company 2, you could put a slug in the shotty. It had unlimited range steal. You could use it. It
felt like unlimited for sure.
You could use it as a sniper.
When I remember,
you could literally hit somebody across the map.
You can clap people. Especially like, even in Battlefield 4, when you were in Metro, downstairs in the subways and shit. Yeah. Bro, it almost felt pointless sometimes because you go down certain alleys and instant death. Boom, clap. There's no even a point. Why are you peeking around the corner? Clap, shotgun from deep.
This is bad. I was watching dudes hit people from across the. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I
was dying by the ragdoll physics.
Oh, the ragdoll physics. The
they
one
were
that
just
clip the one through the window.
It was so over exaggerated. It was hilarious.
But that's Battlefield.
It is. I love it.
Battlefield has its Elder Scrolls to it, where it's just a part of the game, where the jank,
certain things,
and the physics, it's just weird shit happens. It's just Battlefield, bro. Like somebody posted again the other day. I think I retweeted it. We're so back because somebody had actually screenshotted from one of the clips the stretch neck. From Battlefield, which is famous, where it looks like they're Mr. Fantastic, where the necks stretch super far in certain instances, and somebody screenshot it and said, "We're back, boys," because that's just the Battlefield.
100%
jank, just Battlefield. So
yeah, no, I really love what I saw from this multiplayer reveal this week. So we're definitely going to get into a good bit about that as well. Some people got hands on with Phantom Blade Zero. That game is looking great as well. That's that more action oriented. Another game that I believe is also coming out of China, if I'm not completely mistaken. But a lot of people are saying good things about that. We also got some teasers about what is the name of the other game that Lost Soul Aside as well. There was some more gameplay and stuff shown. They also had a weapon kind of demonstration of the different weapons that are going to be in the game. I'll be real with you, Paul. From what I'm seeing so far, watching the gameplay, it does seem a little rough. The characters seem a little flat in the face, a little flat just character-wise. But again, we haven't really seen any story or anything. They're just kind of showing gameplay. Gameplay, even from the people that have played it, are saying that it's not as in-depth as you may think. So it may not be comparable to a Devil May Cry, but who knows? They just had a little tease of it, so I guess we'll see. It does come out. It does come out next month.
Come on.
But it is to be talked about that the game apparently didn't truly start full development until 2021, but it has been an essential 10-year project. So something to take into consideration. All things aside, I'm still interested in the character. I like the dragons. I think the main character looks cool, right? And I'm more of an action-oriented dude anyway, so it's gonna be interesting. To talk a little bit about that. Sony suing Tencent over Light of Motoram or Horizon Chinese version. All of a sudden they found out about this. I actually don't think that Sony has a cold case, or a hot case here, one that's just open and closed. I think that what Light of Motoram is doing is different enough. And Sony, you're not the first ones to do mecha animals.
Yeah, you heard though.
I did hear. That's what I was going to throw in there. They were approached to do a partnership, and they were turned down.
Sony said no.
But if I make it just different enough, different combat, more survival elements,
we're gonna see. We're gonna find
we'll see. I will say that
it's blatant, Steve.
This is more of an understandable conversation than Power World and Pokemon to me.
Completely.
You know what I'm saying?
Side by side steel, there is absolutely side by side.
It's night and day of a difference as far as situations go.
Right, exactly. Because you could tell they took every element from Horizon, even some of the word,
You got custom characters, so you don't have a main character, you create
what
your own
they're
character.
using as the main character to promote it.
Yeah, it's funny. But again,
yeah.
Nobody said that you can't take a similar concept and create your own version. Okay. Sony, I will still say that this is on you for taking however long to get your project out there. I do think that this would be a miss. If this is the product that they had and Sony said no to it, I think that is also a miss for Sony. But again, I don't see a problem with this game existing. I think it's different enough.
Oh, I think it's cool.
Right? I think it's going to be interesting. What if the game... Is Sony's fear really that game might be better than Horizon and more people might enjoy playing that over the traditional Horizon experience?
That was Nintendo's fear.
At least that's what they're expressing. Yeah, and that was, quote unquote, their fear. So it's going to be
obviously.
It's going to see how things go for that.
If Pal World had sold 100,000 copies, do you think they'd honestly be suing them? No. They wouldn't be suing.
No, you know what else? If Pal World really had Tencent money or had more of Tencent's backing to fight Nintendo in court, like Tencent has for Light of Moderum, for an example, this is way more back behind Tencent than Power World is. So, but if they had that type of money, they probably could have fought Nintendo and said, I don't know about this stuff. You're going to have to give me a little bit more. But, Power's doing good with what they got. I mean, the game still exists. So they've been able to work around a lot of the issues that they've been having. So we'll see. It's an interesting conversation nonetheless. There is some gray area though, so it's gonna be interesting. Let's see what else I got on my list here. More PlayStation games coming to Xbox. Who's ready for that? Not only that, again, you had nothing but Microsoft published games on the Sony top play charts. Dominating the charts for those who care about that. Again, I do find it interesting, but what do you expect when you don't have any games of your own to put on the charts, Well,
and then a good portion of those are third-party established IP that would have been.
And of course they are. So, but again, whatever. if you're gonna play by the dirty rules, the dirty rules gotta work.
Mav and I had this conversation on Thursday. I know, I get it. I do think that there's some. It's all funny. I get two of them though. Horizon and Indiana Jones. Those two you can't, especially for how much slander there was against both of those games. Like, okay, like those do say something when they show up in top 10. But anyways,
it does say a lot. Again, Horizon being up there, selling almost over 3 million copies, I think says a lot by itself anyway. And again, when you also see games like Oblivion back on that list, or high as well, and it doing well apparently, I do think it says a lot in this era with how people look at what they value on each individual platform. So it's going to be cool. I mean, we got a lot to get into. That's just a little bit of the things that I at least have on my radar. I think a big part of today is going to be talking about Battlefield 6, things that we've seen, why we're hyped, and kind of going from there. But if you're not familiar, this is Living Split Screen. Living Split Screen is a non-console centric platform talking about everything going on within the gaming stratosphere. At least most things, because sometimes, sometimes, let's say a lot of the time, we end up leaving out Nintendo because me and Pong clearly have a Nintendo bias. We just don't. We just got a lot of smoke to have for Nintendo. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Just do. And there's more smoke to be had apparently.
It's so cute they're raising prices, Steel.
So cute. It's some Canadian prices, man. It's looking high.
On 10-year-old plus hardware.
Regardless of the fact, treating it like it's not old hardware is hilarious. They can, again, another company that could make the right move and make their stuff cheaper, and they say, why do that? I want you to buy the Switch too. So, but nonetheless, this is where we also believe in that RTS View real-time strategy. We'll pull ourselves out of the world, look at the darker crevices of that map, pull our resources together, not only build up our own foundation right here on Living Split Screen, but also the foundation for the potential 2 to 3 billion gamers that are out there. With that as well, we do come from that EC P. That's an educated consumer perspective because me and Pong do not work in the gaming industry. We're just two dudes who enjoy the hobby of gaming, have been doing it for quite some time, essentially since the ethos of it. And we like to combine a little bit of our professional, work experience into the mix to play a little armchair CEO, have some fun, have some good conversation, get the chat involved and lively, and just have a good time. I'm one of your hosts, Steel Rain, that T is a 7 everywhere. Mr. Lyrona Cut himself, who's been knee deep in that Wu Chang. Take that for what you like. But have been having a good time, and it's been phenomenal, man. Been doing Lunch with Steel, so definitely continue to check that out, whether it's on TikTok, YouTube, or all the individual places or social media. But I think that's enough from me of now. I'll get a little bit more into what I've been jumping into. I pretty much teased y'all for the most part already what I have been into thus far. But I got to introduce the uncanny gentleman himself, the brother from another, the X-Man that is not Cyclops, but he is my guy, my confidant, the one and only Pong. So, what's going on, brother man? How are you feeling? And what you been into?
Well. Another Saturday. I am just so excited, Steel, that we get to come back here, and I pretty much can stop whispering. We're back, boys and girls, for Battlefield, and pretty much just yell it now. I know we still have to get hands on. I know, Eastside Vandal and others who certainly preach caution when it comes to any Battlefield launch.
Sure.
I get y'all. I do, but I've been upfront about Battlefield and my love for Battlefield. So we're gonna get into it because that got me so excited. I was at work. I watched. Well, I had it in the background again. I can't watch. I watched the trailer. I watched the deep dive. But then after that, I had the gameplay on for about 2.5 hours, just sitting there at work. So I watched a lot of clips too afterwards. So excited to get into that, but great to have everybody here on another Saturday here on Living Split Screen, where Steel and we get together. We just do about 3+ hours of just a whole lot of big gaming talk, opinions, speculation, all of the above. And we talk gameplay. And Steel, you know what?
Wow.
I thought I was coming back this week and just going to be boring, and I was going to give up pretty much all my time to you to talk about what you've been playing, because I'm in boring mode, right? I could sit here again and try to sell Steel once more on Greedland,
that's not
and
gonna
sell
happen.
all you on Greedland, because it is dope as hell, and I continue to play that game, and it gets better and better the more I freaking play it, and the more weapons I open up. It's freaking awesome. Each weapon feels so incredibly good. Again, if you want a Vampire Survivors sci-fi version of Vampire Survivors that has a lot going for it, that you could open up a ton, go check out Greedland. Again, $12, whatever the hell it is. Like, you can go a whole lot wrong for $12 instead of buying Greedland. So just go buy Greedland and try it out. Anyways, I thought that's what I was going to be selling against Steel. And I thought I was going to talk about some other boring shit like Battlefield Hardline, that I've been also getting back into again as well because of the Battlefield hype, and just loving that campaign, and just love, I forgot how good the campaign really is in that game. Again, it plays like Splinter Cell. You can sneak around. I'm trying to do levels like full stealth, which is actually possible in that game for the most part, which is cool as hell. Of course, there's action sequences that you can't get stealthy on, but just saying, the options that they give you are really, really cool, and you can swap out loadouts in the middle of the campaign. They have ammo and or they have weapon boxes available for you to swap your complete loadout, and it's just such a good. It's so underrated. So I thought I was gonna be talking about those kinds of things, Steel, but then we actually got a surprise yesterday. THQ Nordic shows up yesterday. I had completely forgot they were even gonna have a showcase. And they had a showcase, and I actually was too busy at work. I didn't get to watch it live. But
I didn't even know they were having.
Of course, I saw the posts. Obviously, everybody, shout out to Hazador, especially. Again, always comes through in the clutch early on. Shinobi, all those guys. But I saw Hazador's post about what games were showing, and we're gonna talk. We might stop on a couple maybe later if we got some time. We'll talk about a couple of the games that I'm super excited for. THQ is just pumping out games. But still, I've had one on my wish list for a very long time now.
What you have?
And it shadow dropped yesterday in early access on Steam. Titan Quest 2, bro.
Oh yeah.
Titan Quest 2. Again, I've been waiting on this. Titan Quest 1 is everywhere. You can go play it on console. You can go play it anywhere. Double A, action RPG, Diablo-esque, single player experience. Dope. Okay. Set in the Greeks, with all your Greek gods and all that kind of stuff. Those things. Greek mythology. Titan Quest 1. I can't remember when did that freaking launch. Titan Quest 1 has been around forever. Titan Quest release date. Let's see here real quick. Anyways, I've played that game on and off 2006, 19 years ago.
Yep. I was about to say.
I have played that game on and off nonstop. I own it on PC now. I've got it on, I've pretty much had it on all the consoles that I've owned. Titan Quest is simply just a dope ass chill action RPG to sit down to. And it's not easy either. Okay. It has some challenge to it, even on normal. And again, this is me speaking. So again, everybody's gameplay is going to be different depending on your skill level and what you think is easy or not. But there is challenge to this game. Like, it ramps up real quick. Like, you think you're going through the normal enemies pretty good, and you think you got a nice little pattern of skills down, and then you show up at a boss and shit goes sideways real quick, and you're like, okay, what did I do? Anyways, I've been waiting on Titan Quest 2 for a long time. Ever since they showed it off. I think they showed it off first, teased it last year, I want to say. Is the first time
I haven't been paying attention to it, but it looks interesting. I mean, again, for like a Diablo-esque style game, for sure.
Yeah, and this one's got multiplayer too. Co-op multiplayer and all that good shit too. It's not the PvE is in test phase right, or the PvP is in test phase right now for early access. I'm not worried about that shit. That's not why I'm playing this game anyways.
Yeah.
But so out of the blue, I've had this on my wish list ever since they teased it. They didn't have an exact release date. Well, they show up yesterday, do their showcase, and just drop it and say available now on Steam, early access, $24. Again, when you give me a looting action RPG set in Greek mythology, that sure, it might not be AAA Diablo, like that kind of, but you're giving me high quality AA THQ on an established IP that's been around for 19 years and nobody knew if we were ever going to get another one again. Here we are, and you're just dropping it on me for $24. I posted it right away when I saw the post yesterday. I said I'm in. So Steel, I got some time in it. I got some time in yesterday when I got home. I got home early enough, and I got like 3 hours in yesterday. This game is freaking awesome. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. There's a couple little things performance-wise that I did notice. Switching out your equip with controller. Again, of course, this one's built from the ground up for controller as well.
That's dope.
Which is great, yes. The other one did obviously have controller support because they brought it to consoles and everything else, but it was PC first. This one is built from the ground up modern day. But swapping out equipping weapons or armor out of your inventory, it doesn't like to do that. It goes, it's really hard to explain, but it flickers like it's swapping, but it actually leaves it on the same one. And you have to do it multiple times to get it to actually swap over. So there's little things like that. I had it semi-freeze and lose controller support at one point, not during a battle or anything. I had been sitting there because I was
just from the game
doing something else. Yeah. Just from the game. It was still active. Like the game was still active, but it wouldn't read my controller when I came back. And the music had shut off in the background. Right. So it looked like it was frozen, but things were still moving. But then when I moved my mouse and I clicked on it, it all came back again. So it's almost like a timeout thing, but it wouldn't wake up with the controller. So just little things like that. Again, this game's early access. This is not the final, right? So it's fine. It is what it is. Other than that, combat feels great. This is completely 100% an upgrade from Titan Quest 1. They're not rewriting or changing or trying to remake the wheel in any way, shape, or form here. If you played Titan Quest 1, if you like top-down action RPGs like Diablo, you're going to like this game. They have just added to what they did in the first one about 20-fold of what the first one had. The loot is fantastic so far. Stats easy to read, figure out what you're doing. They now have a mastery system. And early in the game now, like I'm only 3 hours in, I earned a second mastery. So I've already got a dual class set up. So I'm running Rogue with forget what is it actually called? God, they got Earth, and then they've got what's her called? Anyways, I'm running Rogue, basically ice electricity wizard, right? So that's what my combo is. And you got to allocate points between the two. You can put a lot of points in one, just a couple in the other one, but you get to decide what you want to do. So I've already got a dual mastery system set up, which is awesome because I have access to obviously spells, and then I've got my rogue going full poison, right? So I'm building a poison build, but now I've got electricity involved in it as well.
Kind of similar to what you
So
can do in Path of Exile and a little bit of
correct,
Diablo. Okay, so
correct,
there's
yeah,
some
yeah.
light versions.
They've
Okay,
obviously
I
got a
like it.
lot of that
I like it.
involved in it, right? And then each time, for each skill that you open up to, you can also enhance that skill, and they've got a list of like 8 to 10 different minor slots. Like I had I'll just give you a quick example. Like my rogue, one of the first skills I could get was it's not called Shadow Blade, it's called something else, but it was actually a high damage attack with a blade, a melee attack, right?
Okay.
Once I opened that up, I could enhance it. I actually turn, and it uses spell points, right? It uses your energy from your spells to do these skills. But I turned that with one of the enhancements actually into a from a melee to a ranged attack. So I could throw that thing out now. And
That's
then I
fire.
enhanced it with poison. So now when I throw it out, a group is running at me, throw it out, I get the cloud of poison, it affects all of them, right? That's kind of the enhancements, but there's a ton of different enhancements that you can do, and those enhancements have levels that you can put points into as well. So again, not just a surface level ARPG. Again, I'm not claiming this is Diablo or any of the other ones, right? I'm not going down that road. I'm just saying that as a AA game, they've taken what they had originally and put a lot into it. Environments, gorgeous. So far, so good. The amount of enemies, different types of enemies that I've already encountered within the first 3 hours is pretty impressive. Like again, I was walking through
That's
like
pretty
the first,
good. Sounds like
the
good pacing.
first, yeah, the first level I had probably 7 different enemies 8 different enemies that I encountered right out the gate. Like it was pretty dope. As I was walking through, I'm like, holy shit, there's something new here. Like, okay. Sure, again, when you're talking like spiders and you're talking crabs and you're talking cobras, that kind of shit, sure, you can argue, well, those are just all little shit, samesies, but they all do kind of have their own attack patterns. They have their own resistances to what you're trying to do and that kind of stuff. So it does get interesting. I'm just playing on normal. Like I said, this game, I got to the first quote unquote kind of boss, this Griffin. Yeah, I was doing pretty damn good. Had my whole lightning, poison down, attack, and you got 2 sets too. By the way, I should mention
Okay.
you do have 2 sets you can set up, so you can
That's
switch
cool.
between them on the fly as well. So I was doing really good. I was like, okay, I got this. Got to that Griffin. 7 times, I think, 6 times, 7 times it took me to get his patterns down. And I can't just go attack. It's not one of those. I can't just lay into him. Gotta dodge.
Got your little
Gotta get out the way.
vibe.
Yeah, gotta get out the way.
Okay.
Gotta make sure you're looking for the hints of what's attacks coming. So yeah, there is a lot of that. And I will say, even the minor. Again, I'm a rogue wizard, so I'm not wearing heavy armor, right?
Okay.
So again, take that in mind. I'm not wearing heavy armor. I'm not putting a ton of points into my health, right? So I'm not doing that. So just bear that in mind. But if I do get mobbed by 5, 6 plus little guys, they can take me down depending on what they're using, right? So they can take my health down. I gotta watch my health. You do have potion. You don't have to collect potions in Titan Quest.
Okay.
The bar actually fills up as you kill things. And so then you got, like,
That's
I've got,
cool.
right. I can't remember if I can get more, but right now I've got 3 uses that I can use. And as I deplete them, and it will take a portion of it if I'm not very far from max, or if it doesn't need the full portion, it'll only deplete a portion of that. I gain that back by attacking enemies. So that's dope as hell as well. So yeah, man, Titan Quest 2, THQ Nordic.
That's pretty dope.
Been waiting on it, man. Again, 20, 23 bucks, 24 bucks, whatever it is in early access. They got a discount right now on Steam. Well worth it if you're looking for an action RPG, like a looter. Like, again, I was getting loot left and right. They've got your classic levels in there. They used to do a little bit different They used to call things like magic and that kind of stuff. What they switched it over. You can go back to the old system if you want to, but they switched it over. So now it goes, from common all the way up to legendary.
Okay.
Legendary being orange. But I've already got some rares. I've already got a couple yellows, or I got more than a couple. I think I got 4 or 5 pieces of yellow equipment already, and they're leveled according to where you are. So you earn things that are around your level as you're killing things. No
So it doesn't level with you. You'll have to get new versions of it.
You have to get new stuff. It's constantly dropping. I personally like that. I like the loot systems when they constantly drop shit. Even breaking stupid jars and shit along the way. Actually, you can get shit out of them, which is cool. You can get gold, or you can get some weapons or whatever else. But yeah, it's got a portal system, so you can once you open up the portals,
fast travel.
You got your own portal that you can call, just like Diablo.
Okay.
You can fast travel back to town, sell your shit if you're overloaded, because it does have an inventory system. It's got the grid inventory system, so you do have to keep track of that. It does fill up quite quickly, so but you can take it back easily to a town and sell it all off again. So yeah, again, 3 hours in, loving what I'm seeing from Titan Quest 2. And so I actually have a current game. Yes, it's not available on console yet. It is only on Steam, early access right now on PC, early access, but well worth a look if you guys, and I know we have a bunch of people in our chat who are on PC, well worth it, man. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to this one. So, man, THQ is knocking it out of the park right now, bro. They're bringing back Sacred 2 remaster, which is unbelievable that we're getting a Sacred 2 remaster. I don't care that it's not a remake. I think it's dope that these older games are coming back. Some of the best of the best. THQ has a lot going for it. There's a couple other ones in there too. Maybe we'll talk about it later, but Titan Quest 2, go check it out.
Again, if they could put out games that they don't necessarily have to work too, I wouldn't say work too hard, but some that can like talk to their fans and get those people going, and just get them engaged again. I think that's always going to be a win for them, especially for stuff like that, especially in this era where we seem like we're in the space of getting those remasters or remakes, or at least them trying to get those ducats out of you before it's kind of too late, maybe, or before we start asking for more. I don't know. Or before it just seems like it's outside of its scope. So this is super dope. What have I been into? There was a game that I don't know if it was last weekend or before that I did try out. And it's an open beta. I don't know if it's still up or not, but, or maybe it's considered closed beta. Either way, you can just watch streams of it. It's called Fate Trigger. It's essentially a MMO. Oh, not an MMO. Sorry. It is a battle royale with waifus, that have special abilities. Game actually is interesting. When you can choose to aim and shoot in third person or first person. By default, it goes from third into first. And it's actually one of the first games that did that, like that actually made me feel like, oh, maybe I can continue to play this. I didn't really like that with PUBG. PUBG never hit for me the way that it did for a lot of other people. I never enjoyed it. Especially with the constant swapping back and forth. And then you kind of need to swap into first person in PUBG, especially because that's how you get more accurate shots, especially at long range. And people like to use snipers. It's a little bit different when you're up close, but you have a lot of long range engagements in that game. But in this one, it felt pretty cool. Only played about a few matches of it. They do introduce bots, very similar to what Fortnite does to you, make you feel good early on, and to kind of take the experience from there. So there is that. Maybe that game will be able to carve out a space. I don't know necessarily if it's different enough. I mean, I like the art style. I like the aesthetic. I like what they're going for, right? You got vehicles. You got a good map layout. The map is actually layered as well. So there'll be a part, the ring will close like a traditional battle royale. But then if you're on this bottom plane or of the map, and I didn't find this out until I thought we were about to have to jump off the side of the map because we were getting closed on by the ring, but there was a jet stream that popped up that carried us up to this whole other level of the map that expanded. I have no clue how big these actual maps are. It kind of felt like it was at least twice the size of a Fortnite map. So that was even interesting in concept. But having the special abilities and stuff, that stuff felt cool. But it wasn't nothing to be like, I'm going to be coming. This is going to be one I'm going to throw in my main rotation. It just Didn't hit that hard, but I did think it was interesting for a game that's in beta. I did jump into Delta Force, as I mentioned earlier. I played a few matches of that just because I know people have been talking about it. People are really, really high up on it. And I was just in that zone after, here talking about Battlefield over the last couple of weeks and seeing more from Battlefield. It was like, man, I really want to see if Delta Force is that similar experience that people were saying. And I saw somebody mention in chat that it is it has a mixture going, kind of combining COD and Battlefield. I see a little bit of that. For me, I don't know. I can't put a finger on what exactly makes it not hit the same way that Battlefield does for me. Or why I got the feeling of, I would just rather play Battlefield when I was playing it. I do think that's just more so a me thing more than anything. I do get those very extreme moments where it's like, hey, there's a game that plays similar to this and I would rather play that thing versus this, and that kind of turns me off of the experience of whatever this new thing is. And I get for what they've created with Delta Force, it seems interesting. They also have a similar thing to where you can unlock the different classes, and not necessarily the classes, but you can unlock new heroes, quote unquote, and they have different abilities and stuff. So seems like it could be interesting. I uninstalled it. I said, hey, Battlefield 6 is the next thing that I'm looking forward to. I'll just wait and play Battlefield. And so yeah, there's that. I did end up before I go further, because I don't want to forget about it, Yobi came in and he dropped a little something as a member for 21 months under the legendary stash. He says, peace, love, life, it's Hordivores for life, naked gang. You already know. Always naked all the time. I did also download Ghost Recon Breakpoint on console. So got that ready to go. There was an upgrade for it as well. I felt like I owned it already. And again, I was right about that. They had an upgrade for it available on the Xbox as well for the Ultimate Edition. I think I said it was like $6 or something like that. I said, why not? So ended up also getting that. That's downloaded for, I know me and Yobi were talking, Yobi and I were talking about jumping back in there and running in. I deleted my old character, so I'd be starting fresh again. Booted it up, make sure it was running as intended. Good old 60 frames, looking good, feeling good on the box. So that's going to be interesting. If I have the opportunity to jump back in there, man, because things are only going to get crazier as we move into the month. So a lot more interesting games. There might be a game that I end up skipping out on that we actually saw some more combat of this week as well. And maybe I'll just have to pull up the upcoming games list to remind myself what game that was. But it's another one of those smaller indie type games. We saw something about it. I want to say either towards the beginning of the year. They finally had an update. It comes out around like August 12th or so. So there is that. Still Mecha Break. Been playing Mecha Break on and off. It's kind of, I have set it to the side for now, since I was playing Wu-Chang. Once Wu-Chang released, that has been my main go-to until I complete the game. I have realized, though, man, I'm coming to a realization. Well, not really a realization, because I've mentioned it before, but the likelihood of me playing a game for the second or third time is probably just not going to happen. Like, just for the foreseeable future, if I can't get everything, like this is another one of those games, Wu-Chang, that has multiple endings. If I don't get all the endings, then it is what it is. I'm gonna get whatever ending I get and just be happy with it. I don't mind doing that anyway. And I'm not one of those people who get the last save, and I'll do a trick to have the save exactly where it needs to be so I can go back and get whatever ending. I don't typically do that. I thought I would want to by the time that I get to the end of this. I may be halfway through Wu-Chang currently, and as much as I am loving it and enjoying it, and I do think this is another one that also is like, why is there not a photo mode? Because the game is extremely pretty. I do think that this game is still the game that I would choose over Wukong. And I would choose it over First Berserker Kazan. Although I do think First Berserker Kazan does a little bit more in making you feel godly than even Wu Chang does, but that's not necessarily like the whole point of Wu Chang, outside of having the abilities and stuff like that. So far, I wouldn't put it up there with Stellar Blade. I think you're having a different conversation at that point. Stellar Blade plays quite differently, and although you do have enemies you kind of got to focus on and things like that, I just kind of put it in a little bit of a different experience for me. I still put Stellar Blade above all of it, right? But we were talking about a traditional Souls-like experience, in the way that it feels, and the way that it presents itself, and the way it makes you traverse the world again. It makes me feel like I've returned back to Dark Souls 1. The way the map loops back in on itself, the way that you're constantly kind of finding out new things. Again, you talk about a story that is told through the characters and things that you pick up throughout the game, and you halfway maybe having an understanding of what your role is and everything that you're doing, speaks to that. And I think this is good from Yin Z, for a title from, again, a smaller team, and I think they knocked that out of the park. They hit above their weight. And I think this is definitely one of the higher echelon games that are out there. So can't wait to play some more, get my completion in, and see where I'm at with that. Because I think by the time I beat Wu Chang, either I'm going to be back in Mecha Break, or, like I said, I'm going to tell you guys right now, next Saturday, we're not having a living split screen. We're playing Battlefield. The Battlefield 6 beta will be live in action. We will be getting to it. Hopefully, y'all are there to join in. Maybe, again, we're going to have slots. Maybe we'll join a lobby, get as many people as we can in, and kind of go from there. Whatever we got to do, we're going to be getting some Battlefield 6 beta action in. So if you're excited for that, just know next week's episode is not even going to have an episode number. It's just going to be, well, fuck it, I'm going to label it. No, I'm not gonna give it an episode number, but it is gonna be Battlefield for sure. So definitely look out for that, and there's gonna be a lot of conversation that we get into today. So that's been the majority of everything that I've been into this week. I don't think there's anything else that I wanted to throw up on the list or anything. Throw up on the list, man. Throw up on the list. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Shane G says, anyone want a nice, decent, pure arcade racer for Series Cups and NASCAR's Arcade Rush? Only $6. Oh, shout out to that.
I like it. I like it.
Stanley Francois asks, y'all not buying Mafia 4 Steel and Pong?
Nope. Not day one.
I haven't played the other Mafias. I started playing the first Mafia, and I haven't returned back to it at this point. If I don't play the other Mafia games, I know Mafia 4 is a prequel, but I don't see myself playing Mafia for quite some time.
Yeah, no, won't be day one for me.
So
no, too much other shit to play, and again, this year is getting so busy. But yeah, no, I love the other Mafias, but it's not something I got to play day.
Looks good though.
It's not.
Looks good.
It looks great. It's fantastic.
So yeah,
love
but
the
yeah,
old school setting.
Not going to be jumping into that. Fahim says, but still, it's worth it to know all the endings. It's worth it to know all the endings if it's near Automata. It's worth it to know the ending when you have games that actually change things in New Game Plus, that do things differently. That's the one thing that I do miss from like the OG Souls experience, as an example. There was just something inherently different there. There are changes that they do make, but I would like to see story changes happen. You not having to do the same. Those are things that I've come. Maybe that's the old head in me finally setting in. I'm at a point where I don't like repeating shit I've already done. When I go into a new game plus and I have to unlock all these points, fast travel points again, I thought it was dumb as hell in Diablo. That was a turn off for me in Diablo 4 when they did that shit fucking earlier on. I was like, why? What are we doing this for? I've gotten to a point where if there's a game that makes me do that, unless I am playing a looter shooter where that is the part of the gameplay loop, I'm not playing a single player game multiple times if I'm really not getting anything else out of it. If it doesn't give me a point to where I can save and, maybe I load my last save and make a different choice. Nah, I like playing my games, making the decisions I make during my gameplay time and getting whatever conclusion I get. That's what I did in Cyberpunk as well. I didn't go into Cyberpunk 2077 and say, oh, let me find out exactly what every ending is. No, I played the game for whatever it gave me in those moments, got the ending that is actually one of the better endings in the game, and I am satisfied with what I got out of that experience. I don't need any more. I don't need to play it again. I'm good. That's just, so a little bit of a side tangent there. That's something that I've come to the realization of, because that's been bothering me. There's certain games that do that, and it's just like, bro, I'm not trying to unlock the same shit all over again. I'm just really not. Just not. Like, I'm not the guy who makes a new class every season. Let me progress my main character. That was another thing that turned me off of the app. Why? I don't want to make a new character. That's why I don't play Path of Exile like that. Those are not my games. Let me progress my main character throughout the seasons, throughout the years, for whatever else. Like, that is my old head sitting in, I think, more than anything.
Right.
So little random Steel Rain rant from me. Shane G says, I never replay a game. I don't either. Typically, I don't replay games. I don't rewatch movies. Bro, after a certain age, I'm good. Like, let's move things forward. Let's do things a little bit different. Stanley Francois, yeah, he says, still, did you do the multiple endings in Cyberpunk? Nah, I got the one ending. The ending that you get to leave with Pan Am.
Yep.
Live out your life. That's the one that I got. And I was happy with it. I do like the other stuff, right? You got the casino ending. They actually added something else. You have another ending to where, I don't want to give away all the endings. Maybe not everybody plays Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Careful.
Because the other ones are a little bit more creative. I'll leave those alone. Because those are, you got to make some fucking decisions. Yeah. Even with the ending that I got, I felt like I was like, damn.
Oh. Yeah, there's huge.
This is insane. Right. So, Shane G says, Mafia, Borderlands 4, Sonic Kart Racing is looking fucking delicious. I ain't gonna lie. That's like the Mario Kart that I want to play right now. Dying Light, The Beast, and Silent Hill F are the 5 games remaining this year, and I'm day one on and pre-ordered. Ooh, you got a list right there. I like that.
I like the list.
Decado says, last time I cared about endings was Mass Effect series. Yeah, and even in Mass Effect, I did know from other people that you want to do as much as you can through everything else to get a decent ending. But even that, I played it the same way. I try to do as much as I can, do everybody's story, chop it up with the people I liked. I wasn't forcing myself to do nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, for me, I didn't intentionally let Rex live or die. I chose what I felt was right in the moment. What do I do?
That's what I did in Cyberpunk too. With all the conversations with Johnny, I wasn't going by anything. And I wound up with what people consider to be the best ending out the gate, right? For my last one. But even if I hadn't, like Steele said, again, there are those games that for me, when I finish a game, first of all, that's in itself says everything you need to know about the game when I finish a game, like for me. But for me, like that's my experience. And I didn't need to go see the other endings. Like that was my experience. That was going to be now I'm going to play through Cyberpunk again because Phantom Liberty, I want to play.
Yeah, it's different. It is way different. They changed so much. Different. It's completely different game.
Right. I'm going to go back and do it again. But to me, that was my experience. And it was so powerful, and I'm not being dramatic here. Like,
I wish I was. It's really
on my mind, right? Cyberpunk's ending to me was solidified it. That's what I knew was a GOAT for me. Like, I had known it was top 10 for me, but with the ending and how that all climaxed, it was a GOAT. And again, Cyberpunk is special, and I wanted that ending. My point being is I wanted that one ending that I had for my first playthrough to be it. Like that, I was good with that, right? I don't know what the other ones are. I've seen bits and pieces of the other ones from other people's playthrough, but I'm not even really curious about the other ones. I was just so satisfied with that as my, story ending. I was like, cool, this is where I'm going to leave it. So yeah, no, absolutely. Now we just need the Jackie side quest.
No, 100%. Yeah, no, that would be a good reason to come back.
We gotta convince somebody at CD Projekt Red just to, even in Cyberpunk 2, when it comes out with Cyberpunk 2, they do some flashback to Jackie side. Like something with Jackie.
We're gonna speak it into existence. We're gonna keep saying it.
Yeah, I know.
But Paul, do you want to shout out the chat? I know it did a little bit there, but if you want to shout out everybody else,
of course,
and maybe we'll get some upcoming games or something up on screen.
We're gonna catch everybody. That's not a problem. We're gonna do that. Yeah, thank you all for being here, man. As you can see, Steele and I are pretty hyped. Like, just waiting on talking about Battlefield here.
Bro, it's next weekend, bro. The beta is literally next week. It starts on, if you got early access, 7th. It starts on Thursday.
The 7th, yes.
Bro.
I'm thinking about taking Friday off.
I heard you say that. Yeah, don't do Thursday.
I was thinking about Thursday.
I heard you say Thursday. Don't do Thursday. Friday.
But then you heard me say the servers are always messed up. I don't want.
What if they get it right though? What if in Zampella We Trust?
Right, and I'm sitting at work, I'm going to be pissed. However, taking Friday off gives me a long weekend, and I can leave work early on Thursday.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
So I agree. I know Mav wants to play before we go live on the Thursday show. So
we're just gonna do that's the show. It's Battlefield.
Yeah.
If you're loaded into Battlefield, that's all that's there.
Well, Mav did talk about that. We might just do that. So, and then obviously it goes the second weekend too. And for who anybody doesn't know too, again, we'll get into this. But you can earn rewards too, which is dope. Yep. I love when they do this.
I do like that. I like
when they do this. It's gonna be so good. Anyways, let's get to this chat. You guys are all absolutely freaking amazing. XBX.LordChaos78 in the chat says, "Hey, what's up and good morning, everyone. Hope all is well. Don't forget to stay blessed. Don't stress. Play Xbox everywhere. Let's go. Another banger Saturday with Living Split Screen family. Hit that like. We got bangers up in here. Thank you, Lord Chaos. Appreciate you for being here on a Saturday. Decato, what's going on? He says, hopefully I will be back by Sunday. Oh, Decato. Jeez, you're going
I hope so. I hope so. No, I think Decato said he was going in for surgery.
That's right.
Decato,
he's doing the medical stuff.
We're sending you love and blessings. We're gonna be playing. We'll be playing Battlefield in your name, and don't you worry, bro. We'll be able to. I'll come up. We'll come on with us. Live gameplay. We'll be able to lock you in and have you situated and have you filled with tons of laughs. Hopefully it doesn't disturb nothing going on. But hopefully hopefully we'll be able to help you take your mind off of it a little bit as you heal up.
Make sure you tell the doctors that the best treatment will be getting you on Battlefield 6 beta.
That's it. That's it.
Quick. Just tell them that. Be done with this shit. All right, Decato. Well, good luck, brother. And obviously, you got the extra prayers from me coming your way. So I will be thinking about you, man. King Webb, what is going on, King Webb? He says Epic beat Google, Xbox Game Pass Mobile soon. Yeah, I saw that. Oh,
that's dope.
The bullshit with Apple didn't carry to Google for some reason. Like lobbying and lobbyists and this political bullshit behind the scenes about they're not looking out for the best interest of the consumer. So why Apple gets away with bullshit, but then they go against Google is weird. But anyways, that is good news. They got to open up those storefronts a little bit more. So that will be good. Who else we got in here? We got East Sidebando. What's going on? He says Cyberpunk dropped a Jackie DLC. It would make tons of money, bro. It is almost hands down to a T.
Guaranteed.
If you bring up Jackie to any Cyberpunk player, they all will profess their love and sadness over Jackie. Like, it is almost to a T. It's one of those characters that literally nobody hated and nobody didn't like and everybody loved. It's crazy, man. They would make so much freaking money. Who else we got in here? We got the lore Master Jasper checking in from space, keeping us safe from those motherships on their way in to attack us, according to some. So keep scanning those skies, Jasper. Keep us safe, brother. Good to see you here, though, man. Let's see. We got the one and only legendary Yobi, the man, the myth, the legend.
What's going on?
Himself in here. What's going on, legend? Appreciate you so much. He said the fact the team said there was the last DLC update for Cyberpunk, and they are still going, which is insane to see. Yeah, their support
is immaculate.
Sorry about that. Their support has been.
I mean, again, that's the way you win back favor of your customer base. Again, I mean, you got to kind of do these things. So
they do, and it proved right. Sorry, everybody. I was telling Steele beforehand. We're back in the Canadian forest fires. Past week and a half, almost 2 weeks. It is like a haze. Like, it could be blue sky, what is clear sky, and the sun it looks like it's like an overcast sky. That's how dim. It's wild here, man. So yeah, it's really hitting me hard with headaches and Every once in a while, my throat just goes dry for no reason. Anyways, who else we got in here? We got the Shane G in the house. What's going on, Shane G? Appreciate you so much, brother, for being here. I think I got King. I did get King Webb. Right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, he talked about the Google thing. Ghost Wolf 3599. What's going on? He says, I'm a little bit behind on the stream, but if the game is good, I'll play it multiple times on the second run through of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and still love it. That's awesome, Ghost Wolf.
Second run, it's a big game, bro.
That's a big game. Well, it depends. You can run it. I don't know what Ghost Wolf did, but you can run them. You can mainline it.
Well, there are certain games that you can. Yeah, you can. I can see.
I can't. I can't get lost, especially in a game like that, man, with so much stuff going on the outside. It's nuts. Fahim Scott, of course, is in the house. Thank you, Fahim, for always stopping in here. We got the Stanley Francois. Says, I can't wait for Borderlands 4. That was day one, bro. Randy screwed it up. I'm not doing it. I will wait for a sale.
You making a stand? You making a stand on it?
Oh, I'm making a stand. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, again,
what's your sale call?
50% on the Ultimate Edition.
50% on the Ultimate Edition. So $50 when the Ultimate Edition is 50 bones, you'll jump in.
Yep.
You know what's crazy about that, Paul?
Yeah.
Is that a game like Borderlands 4 is only going to be better because of it.
Well, yeah, no, for sure.
Because it's only going to get better over it. Because it's just like what I remember from back in the day, like Borderlands 2 and stuff. What I hear from my brother and stuff, all the updates and stuff that they drop. And I begin even with Borderlands 3, as much as people didn't like it, they still expanded on it. So whether or not, I mean, if it's a game we pick up, a year later, maybe we get in co-op when there's nothing else, really around, or maybe. I mean, that's also hopeful wishing.
I would love to do it day one, but I'm not going to do it, bro. I'm not. Randy screwed it up. I'm standing on this. Again,
I was only going to jump on if you were going to, if you were considering.
Telling me I'm not a real fan. I'm not going to hear it. So shout out to Nixie, who thinks it's ridiculous. I don't care, Nixie. I'm standing on business on this one. So, and I might be the only one because it does look great. Again, don't get me wrong. Borderlands 4 looks freaking amazing, right? So I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I'm not hyped for it. But no, Randy's not getting my money up front, and he's not getting my full price money either. So if I can buy it in a key shop, even better, I will do so. So there we go.
I like it.
But Stanley, please enjoy it, sir. Please enjoy it because I know it is going to be great. It looks great. Roadkill 8018 says, "Let's fucking go! Battlefield 6 is about to take over."
Well, we had the same hope for 2042 because of Call of Duty being down, and they didn't take advantage. But again, I'll continue to say it. In Zampella We Trust, there's a lot of different factors that are in play here. This is not just EA. I do think Vince has a lot more say than some people may think, but I do think a lot of the say that we have been speaking to and why he has been a difference maker in many times. So we'll see if it's going to be the case with this. If he brings Battlefield back from what it was, bro,
good chance.
That solidifies his. I mean, he's already solidified his existence as a freaking creator overall with what he's done with Call of Duty.
Oh,
but bro, if he does it with Battlefield. I mean, I would even say, I think he's even solidified it further by going out and stepping out and doing what he's done with Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. I mean, Titanfall as well. But I mean, but he also proved that he could do something different.
Apex is his baby.
Yeah, Apex as well. So yeah, I mean, again, this is why you say, or we say, in Zampella We Trust, because he has, again, if Titanfall is the weakest thing on your record, and to us, that's not weak. You know what I mean? But overall, to the global audience, it didn't do the strongest, although it's maintained some of the hype. If that's the weakest thing on your report card, you a home run hitter. That's I got a lot of faith, man, and they had a lot of good energy, but they didn't have the marathon energy where they seemed like they were unsure, or you could tell that something else was going on. Right? I didn't get that from them. I got a lot of excitement. So,
yeah, no. And we're gonna get into it because there's a lot, but that's great points right there.
Yeah, Nixie. Yeah, Zampella didn't bless 2042. That is not his sauce. You cannot compare 2042 to Battlefield 6. It's not going to be remotely. Even for what I was seeing, bro, they're so confident they let streamers, and I'm talking about hard hitters. I'm not talking about casual dudes. I'm talking about these are people that would have said that the game is ass or was not where it needed to be.
You would hope so.
I mean, at least you would hope so. But you were able to watch actual gameplay.
Yeah.
So it's not like you could hide much.
Unfiltered. No.
You can watch the individual streamer.
Happening in there.
You can watch the individual people run their games. And that's what I'm saying. That's the difference. This isn't like, oh, they took streamers and cut up gameplay. Nah. You got to watch people for hours play a few different maps, get a bunch of different gameplay in. The hit detection looked right. Prong. The sound is about to be phenomenal. This might be the first time I put both headphones back on for a bit.
Battlefield.
But no, like this is Battlefield, but bro, but this is a different level.
Everything, the jets,
even hearing it in stream, like again, a lot to look forward to. Yeah, the hype is complete. This is a different place.
It's so real. It's so real right now. Again, this is beyond even 2042. There's a lot of people excited for 2042, like you said, but this is beyond. I think people got it done. So we're gonna get into it because Zampella does know what he's doing here. The one and only brother from another fun speculation is in the house. Mabo, what's going on, brother? Make sure you check your DMs, brother, and do let me know if that works.
Shane G says, I'm going to go out on a limb and say all the cool kids in Hive Mind will love Battlefield and hate COD this year. It is so predictable about the reception every game is going to get.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, COD's going to be COD, and COD's going to dominate.
Again, I've already made my stand about COD, though. So,
yeah, we're going to talk about that, but this is going to be the down year for COD, too, because it's Sledgehammer, right? So, in most people's eyes, I'm not saying that personally, I'm just saying in most people's eyes, because Sledgehammer's doing this year's COD, it's a down year for COD. So, again, Battlefield's got the perfect opportunity, if Zampella can do it, to pull some of that mind share. Right? The problem being is Battlefield is not the game to pull 360 no scopes.
I don't know. That movement was kind of looking swift.
The movie's looking good, but I'm just saying on a general basis, it's not for you. Get your Battlefield moments where you can eject out of a plane, jump down, land on another dude's plane, shoot him in the head, of course, and then take his plane and fly. That's a Battlefield moment, right? You're gonna get those. But the streamer kids who love the 360 no scope, ridiculous moves, like Battlefield is the place for that. That's the only thing that's one of the things. It's not the only thing, but it's one of the things that, again, why Call of Duty remains popular, as dumb as that sounds. It truly is that. Go watch the streamers.
Well, no,
it's garbage.
Because Nam puts the question. He says COD has down years. When we say down years, it's I am at least right. I want to speak for where I think me and Paul come from, and I'm pretty sure we've kind of made sure to iterate on this. Yeah, it is the popularity of it. I mean, again, Call of Duty is always going to sell Call of Duty.
Yes.
But
have to, yes.
I mean down as far as conversation. I mean down as far as the people who their main game is Call of Duty when they are speaking and saying, hey, of course they're going to return the next year because that's what they do. But when you have these down conversations, there's not many other games that you could slide in there. Again, X-Defiant was able to slide in at a time where Call of Duty was kind of wishy-washy. Shit. This most recent Call of Duty was wishy-washy, and people still didn't go to X-Defiant and call that the Call of Duty killer. They tried to say that it was going to be, but it didn't end up being what it needed to be.
Still, the perfect example is Vanguard.
Vanguard is a good example,
no, it's the perfect example of what we're talking about.
That's a good point.
That was Sledgehammer.
And it was down.
It's the perfect. It still sold. Of course, it still was like number one, I think, that year, like overall, I think, or number two at the lowest, number one or number two. It still sold like crazy. Was anybody talking about Vanguard after everybody talked about just how they didn't like it? No. But of course, it still was Call of Duty. So of course, there's still people playing it. But conversation-wise, popularity-wise, Vanguard's the perfect example of what we talk about as a down year in Call of Duty. Yeah. Still sells extremely well. But overall, conversation pieces, excitement, hype.
It's not where it needs to be. Where it's not where it should be.
Where it normally is. Correct.
And now that's a Microsoft problem.
Below the baseline.
So
Right.
But again,
this year could change. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 could be the greatest thing in the world. Still, it could come out and blow everybody's mind. And this whole conversation.
They're adding to the movement. They're bringing Blackout back.
Right, but the point being is that Battlefield has a chance this year where it normally wouldn't have a chance, just because the hype shift to Battlefield is real. It's not overall. It's not talking about all of a sudden Battlefield's going to outsell Call of Duty. No, that has never, I don't think that's ever actually happened. Even back in the Bad Company 2 days, when they were close, it still wasn't close.
And it is because,
it's just conversation-wise, it was close. That's where they can gain ground.
In Battlefield, no, you're good. It's just I get excited and passionate about the conversations because that's conversation I've always had in the background, off and on, when people try to compare the two. Like I mentioned earlier, that Call of Duty and Battlefield are two different style of games. It's like when people who play Halo or play Gears, like there's a certain style of player that plays these types of games. Yes. Right. A Call of Duty person can play Battlefield, but whether the game sticks for you or not is something completely different. Those of us who are Battlefield vets, as I would like to say, are more so the people like, yeah, we like Call of Duty, as me and Pong have stated, but I have also blatantly missed Call of Duties because I was playing Battlefield. You know what I mean? Like, I am the guy that will skip Call of Duty at any given moment to give Battlefield the chance, right? I was playing a lot of 2042. We were having a good time with it. We were talking about those issues. Was I playing Call of Duty off and on? Yeah, if it wouldn't have been for Warzone, I wouldn't have been on it like I had been up to this point. You know, in this Battlefield, especially with what they're incorporating, I know we might as well be throwing the Battlefield conversation in there, but
we'll get to it right after we do all this.
There's just so many layers, man. Especially what they're doing with their Forge-like elements and community.
Oh, yeah, the Portal.
With Portal. Yeah.
Yeah, what they're doing with Portal is insane, right? They're anyways. We'll get into it because again, they're really going all out. They took things that they learned from 2042 or what Zampella saw in 2042, and they didn't just throw them away because it was 2042. They evolved them and then put them in with the class, and we're gonna get into that. That I think Zampella shows his leadership right here with this, and that was going back to Zampella talk.
Has to be.
Zampella has established himself as one of the greatest studio leaders of all time in video games. He's up there with the greats. And I think when he finally calls it quits and his resume is out there finalized, everybody's going to realize what a great leader of devs he actually was to get these. He's working with what, 6 teams on this one, 5 teams.
Yeah, everybody. That's what's going to make this Battlefield different too. Everybody's in on this, like
crazy.
This is the type of stuff that I want to see from Call of Duty.
Yeah, right. And I think that's why Battlefield needs to be strong. It may never be a direct one-for-one competitor because, like you said, 2 different games. It's never going to beat, potentially, most likely will never beat Call of Duty sales-wise. But when it was in its prime, Battlefield pushed Call of Duty and vice versa. They pushed each other.
That's why they changed Ground War. That's why they changed Ground War to what it was.
This is why Call of Duty has been able to go in the direction it went, was because Battlefield was nowhere to be found. In a lot of ways. Why Call of Duty started turning more into Fortnite was because Battlefield wasn't around anymore to compete. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. So we're gonna talk. God, there's so much good shit going on, man. I love this.
Yeah, Vandal. There's a campaign with this Battlefield, but again, I don't know if it's gonna be anything to write home about, and if it does end up being something decent. I mean, again,
narrative looked good.
I enjoyed the campaign from Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah,
maybe that
looks good.
Maybe that's bad to say.
It's current day.
From the new one, the one that was 2 hours long. I enjoyed it for it.
Yeah, you know. No.
Would I have bought the game for that? No, but I thought it was solid.
This might surprise. Like I said, I've heard that the smoke is that it's been cut down, right? That it was cut down from what it was.
Hey, it might be a good 4 hours.
4 to 6 hours. That's good,
bro.
But narrative-wise, it's really good. Narrative-wise, they're talking about current events, talking about people pulling out of the UN, shit going sideways. Like it's current, and they're bringing it to America. I love when you're bringing it home on the soil, bro. Like, again, it's cool that we get to travel the world, and there's plenty of that in this game as well. But man, you bring it home on the soil, pretty dope. So I'm going to be very interested in the campaign because I love Battlefield campaigns. So whether they're good or mediocre, I still love them. So we're going to try it out. Rod Slusher is in the house. What's going on, Rod Slusher? Great to see you. We got Elijah Vasquez. What's going on, Elijah? Great to see you as well, sir. Appreciate you. The Nam Omar is in the house. Thank you, Nam, as always, joining us, sir. Jago6 was in here earlier. What's going on, Jago? Great to see you. MF Great is in the house. What's going on, MF Great? a pleasure to have you in here. And of course, Delroy was in here as well earlier. Delroy said that he had to check out, but he did stop by and say hi. Appreciate you so much, Delroy. We got the Mishi in the house. What is going on, Mishi? Great to see you as well. Thanks for dropping in and saying hi this morning. Web Dave was the first one in the house. I don't know if Web is lurking or if he's elsewhere, but Web, appreciate you just stopping by and dropping the hit the like button. Appreciate that so much. Weapon X, what's going on? Weapon X, his Black Ops 6 story was great. Yeah, it was good story.
Yeah, it was all right. It was all right.
It was good. I liked it. I liked the twists and turns. Who else we got in here? I think that's everybody. I think I'm caught up, Steel. So we're gonna do this upcoming week.
Yeah, we're gonna do some upcoming games, and then Fahim says, "I'm shocked you guys aren't showing that Battlefield." Don't you worry, Fahim. I'm gonna pull up some gameplay. Don't you worry. I'm gonna pull up some gameplay.
Coming, bro.
It's gonna be playing in the background. Don't you worry.
We got like 8 hours of live stream.
No, I don't know about that. We will next Saturday. We will. Don't you worry.
Oh yeah. No, I'm just saying. There's plenty out there to go look at now. So I'm sure Steel will have it while we're talking about it. So, anyways. Get to it, Steve.
All right. These upcoming games while my screen looks ashy. That's absolutely fine because we like to keep it classy. Ooh, bars. All right. So let's see. What do we got here? I hate when this page refreshes like that. But we're starting from August 2nd and going till August 9th. From what I was looking through this list, because the other thing that I am going to change as we start bringing back the upcoming games is I'm going to try to tailor through again a lot of the DLCs and stuff like that, and some of the games that we probably don't have general interest in. Right?
It's a bad week. It's a bad week.
I mean, there's nothing here either. But nonetheless, I just kind of wanted to put the approach that I was thinking to moving forward for how we approach this game. I will say there is an exciting game that I will be getting for both me and my oldest. That is going to be Demon Slayer, the Hino Kami Chronicles 2, or otherwise known as Kimetsu no Yaiba. The Hino Kami Chronicles 2.
We needed you Thursday. Fuzzy tried to do it.
Shout out to Demon Slayer. Everybody who's been in early access, because the game did have 5-day early access. Everybody who's playing it right now is saying it is a huge leap over the first game. Not only that, it is probably one of the best anime games that have probably released within the last decade, which is good news to hear. I'm interested in it. I want to throw some hands in there. I want to have a fighting game back in my rotation. Tekken 8 could be there, but I think throwing this in there and, maybe having the daughter when she wants to go to the mall or something, she wants some money or something, I'm going to get to beat me in this 1v1 first. Yeah, we can see we can make some things interesting. We're going to learn some lessons through Demon Slayer. I think that'd be pretty fun. So we'll see. But it is one that I do want to jump into. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I'll stream some of this. It is going to get into content that I haven't watched in the actual anime yet, because I haven't peeped at all of it. But it seems like to be doing some fun stuff story wise and everything. So it looks cool. So I'm gonna have that in my rotation as well. So shout out to Demon Slayer for those who may be familiar, or if you're unfamiliar, maybe you'll get familiar. Maybe. So shout out to Demon Slayer. Other than that, we got some games releasing quickly. Hello Kitty's coming to PlayStation. Street Fighter's getting an update. Witchit's coming to the Series X. Final Fantasy's got an update. Apex is coming to the Switch 2. Shout out to that. And you got Alien Breakout coming. That's coming out for the first time on all platforms. And this is a 2D space platformer, or if you're into that kind of thing. So shout out to Alien Breakout. Other than that, you do have Chained Echoes as well. Did this game release previously? No. Yes. This game is coming out to, looks like it's coming to everything. Is this an update to it or a new version?
Yeah. No, Chained Echoes has been out for a while. So,
well, this is Ashes of Laurent. Is that what the normal game is called?
Is it No. Chain Echoes was the first one. So is that the new one? Yeah, because Chain Echoes was back in 2022. What is it called?
Ashes of Elrond.
Ashes of Elrond.
Elrond.
It's official DLC.
Okay, it's DLC. Yes. Okay, so nice. Yeah. So I do want to throw that out there because I do know people like Chained Echoes. That seemed like a familiar title or IP.
Absolutely loved it. Yeah. So classic style JRPG.
Jasper just said it's DLC in chat, so good stuff. Yeah. So shout out to that, and then it says DLC at the end of that trailer. So there you go. That's coming out. You got Gradius Origins. This one looks interesting. This is a shoot 'em up, arcade retro. If you're into that kind of thing. Bring up some pictures here. I do like that.
My wish list.
Looks cool.
Love it.
Yes, I like these style of games. I ain't gonna lie. Having good stuff on there. Yep. That's one of those that have in rotation. You got Fruit Bus. Okay. You got Slope Crashers. I think I've seen gameplay of that one. That one looked funny. And I'll give a quick highlight to Mafia. We talked a little bit about it earlier. But Echoes of the End was the game that I was thinking about. It's going to be in the next time that actually, I'll mention it here since we'll be playing Battlefield next weekend. There won't be an upcoming games. But Echoes of the End, they showed new gameplay of this. In the gameplay, updated gameplay or whatever, I thought the original gameplay looked all right. It has that AA energy, but you can dismember. There's going to be consequential choices in here. Looks to be an interesting game. It's on my radar. It's not in Game Pass or anything. I don't know how much the game is going to be, but it does come out August 12th. Comes out early in the year. Your character has powers. Again, as soon as I saw the dismemberment, when she was doing a hit to do with the combo and chopped his arm off, I was like, all right, you might have a little something here. I need to see how this feels. This would be good. This would be a good one to have a demo. And it looks good. So shout out to Echoes of the End. But yeah, that's this week's upcoming games. Well, Pong, I think we've teased it enough. We've been talking about it off and on. I think it is time to talk about Battlefield 6. In case you were under a rock or you're just completely unfamiliar, Battlefield 6 multiplayer reveal was shown this week. So Battlefield 6 multiplayer reveal officially dropped. The trailer showed some classic large-scale warfare, more grounded art direction, defined class roles, and what seems to be the course correction after the mess of Battlefield 2042. Vince Zampella's leadership is front and center, and many say that the series finally feels like it's getting back on track. So some major points that I pulled was Zampella is now fully in charge of this franchise. He saw that excitement on his face. Levolution and Destruction seem to be making a huge return. The class system has been restructured for better squad utility, seemingly. I still need to get hands-on with it to see how it does feel in practice, but it seems like they got back to the classic essence that me and Pong had been speaking to. The maps seem to have a little bit of a tighter experience, a little bit more focus in some in comparison to previous. They are bringing back one of my favorite maps in Operation Firebase, if I'm not mistaken, or Firestorm, excuse me. So that was a cool one to see as well. And some people, again, like you got Eastside Vandal in the chat, who seem cautious, but a lot of people are optimistic, so that's extremely interesting. So I'll open up with this question here. Has Battlefield finally learned from its past mistakes, or will EA find a way to fumble it again despite Zampella's influence? Pong, again, with the teasers we've been doing, the way that we've been talking about it, you would have thought that we've been given a check to just talk about Battlefield exclusively, to hype this up and get people to believe in this new vision that EA has, that we signed some form of an NDA that said we got hands-on experience ourselves. If that was true, we would have been talking about it. This would probably would have been the first NDA we would have broke. No, probably not. But and nonetheless, how are you feeling about what we've seen this week? Do you think Battlefield has finally learned? It took a few games, Pong. What's happening? What you feeling? What you thinking?
We are back, boys and girls. We are so freaking back. It's not even funny anymore. Yes, we have to wait till next week to get our hands on the beta. That will give us a good idea. But just visually, audibly, watching the gameplay, we are freaking back, finally. Zampella has done it, seemingly. There's going to be work to do. This isn't going to be the final product. There are obvious, glaring things that need to be adjusted out the gate. We got to see about servers, all that kind of stuff. But my gosh, just from a purely watching it, and again, I had it on the background at work for about 2-3 hours while they were playing, and I really did focus in on when they were doing the whole showcase. But then I was catching gameplay. I've gone back. I've watched so many clips just through the screen. Again, if you're a Battlefield veteran, if you have been playing, let's say, you don't even have to go back to 3. You don't even have to go to Bad Company days. You don't have to go back that far. Let's just say you played 3 or 4 and on. You will know what we mean when you look at this and you get a feeling of classic Battlefield again. Now I go all the way back, right? Battlefield. I think the Battlefield. What's funny is when I bought my 360, when we had the history of Xbox, when they showed you what your first game was that you fired up on your 360. I think mine was the Battlefield 2 demo.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah, that was my first game because it was going to be close to the launch. I can't remember if it actually launched or if it was going to be close to launch, but they had the demo. I go all the way back with Battlefield, right? Just visually and seeing the action and seeing what was going on in the screen, seeing the destruction. This is absolutely what Zampella and his team has been talking about that they wanted to do was to take it back. To take it back and make the core Battlefield experience again and rebuild it around that. And from what I'm seeing with the additions, and no, not everything is exactly the same, they have established that here. Enough for me to say that we are back. Enough for me to have a lot of faith that Zampella is not going to let this fall. That again, his legacy is one of success after success. Now, it hasn't always been perfect, right? Again, the Star Wars games, there's certainly performance issues, all sorts of critiques that could be made about Zampella and his teams. But overall, his legacy is success after success after success. He is going to make sure that Battlefield is on solid ground. He is going to make sure that his teams, and he's obviously got his teams working, that they are going to fix what needs to be fixed. And this is not going to be another 2042 situation. Obviously, again, we can already see that. My God, they got leaderboards steal out the gate.
Yeah,
we didn't have that in 2042. Like, as crazy as that is to say, like that's what a mess 2042 from a standpoint of like just basic functionality within a Battlefield game. That they were missing the leaderboards for I think it was almost 2 months. I think
it was longer than that.
It might have been longer than that.
I think it was like 6 months.
Oh, maybe it was. Maybe I'm.
Bro, the leaderboards was like one of the
forever.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at this. They've already made changes. Steel people, all the play testing, and then obviously with the streamers, the word went out that the assault class having what they call the sling benefit, where you could carry 2 assault rifles if you want.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
People said
that was cool in concept,
but way OP.
It was over the top.
And they have already heard it, and they've already said no more. You will be able to carry a shotty.
I can see
an assault rifle, but they're not. Shotty is obviously going to be nerfed. Again, we were talking about earlier, shotty out the gate. You can see it. They're going to nerf that. They're going to nerf that down. So they're already listening. They're already hearing people. But to bring back the destruction, Steel, to bring back the chaos on screen, there was certainly chaos in 2042. There was chaos in Battlefield 5.
Yeah, there's always going to be chaos. There's
always chaos. Battlefield's never lost that. But it's different to the degree from the moment to moment. And from watching the streamers, Steel, walking down, or running down, I should say, sprinting down. And again, they don't have sprint. They brought back the slower sprint that Battlefield originally had. It's not the full-out running sprint. The only thing they changed is you can now crouch and sprint, right? But it's not
which is dope.
It's not as fast.
It's not tac. It's not tac sprint like Call of Duty.
Yeah, no, it's not like that. So, but watching people run down the streets as the buildings are going off, Steel, and the amount of debris in the camera, the amount of dust, the amount of shit going on all around you, harkens back to Bad Company 2, harkens back to Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4. I said it from the beginning. Other people pointed out Battlefield 6, the type that they used for Battlefield 6 for the lettering was Battlefield 3 lettering. Zampella knew what he was doing there. He was acknowledging that's what they're going to go for. And then all the veterans now that they've played it, they all said it's a mix between 3 and 4. Like, that's what you're getting. The core experience is a mix between 3 and 4. That right there has sold me because, again, nobody was saying that about 2042. Nobody was saying that about Battlefield 5. Nobody was saying that. Even the people that were hyping both of those games never said, oh, this feels like Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4. None of them.
We saw we could play those, make it feel like that because of Portal. They had game modes. They had, but even to give you some of that feeling, but it still wasn't the same.
Mm-hmm. The class system is back, Steel. We knew that. The fact that they are going to give us the option to play in servers, and they are going to have, oh, by the way, Steel, out the gate too, you're going to have a server selection screen. You'll be able to preview servers like the old days as well.
That's good. I like that.
That's freaking great through Portal. So you're going to be able to find what you want to do. But the class system is back, and they are going to allow for you to play in servers that are locked weapons, which is something we talked about here. Again, if you like open weapon system where any class can pick any weapon, where you can be an engineer and take a sniper rifle, cool, whatever. I personally don't like that. I personally think that the core Battlefield experience from back in the day was the locked weapon system, because you had to get good. If you wanted to be a good recon, you had to get good with snipers. Okay, unless
give us a good spawn point. Like,
give us right. You had to get good, but the weapons were part of your class, and you had to master those weapons to be effective on the battlefield. I think that is an important part of it. So the fact that they're going to honor both systems, and they're not looking, they flat out said, Steel, we're not looking to see where is being played more. We are just going to support both. They flat out said that. They said there's not going to be any changes to this. We are launching with support for both. We are not looking to see, oh, this many people are playing over on the lock system, so we're just going to get rid of the open system.
They'll probably still have the numbers for it, or see what the engagement looks like.
They will, and
they might talk about that.
They might offer more servers, like pre-built servers, because they have Battlefield
100%,
available. They might have more of one or the other, right? For sure. But again, just the fact that they're going to support that, Steel, tells me they're listening, right? The extra little stuff that they've put in here, be able to, again, you and I both having, loving the medic class, loving the playing medic class.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'll play other things too. I love engineer as
well.
But
I gotta level up the medic first.
But I gotta level up medic. But being able to pull the bodies around. Steel,
that's going to be phenomenal.
Action.
I'm about to go
that's
next
like
level.
One of the worst things is somebody down out in the middle of the open. You dodge 1,000 bullets to get to them, but you're out in the open and you're just trying to get them rezzed before you take that shot to the head, right? That now you're gonna be able to pull them behind cover.
Oh, I'm about to go crazy.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go crazy. All of this again has me over the moon for Battlefield 6. Yes, I am pre-ordering it. Don't care. I don't care. I'm pre-ordering the Phantom Edition. I'm going the big boy edition. Absolutely. Yes, they're gonna have battle passes, right? Of course that was coming. They've already confirmed that they're going to stay grounded with their skins. There is not going to be any Beavis and Butthead.
No Nicki Minaj.
There's not going to be any of that.
No.
They've doubled and tripled down on this, saying we have zero interest in doing.
Which they should.
Yeah, they specifically said we don't need Nicki Minaj in Battlefield. Like that's they flat out said that in a quote, which is fantastic.
I appreciate
it. I appreciate it.
I don't care either way, but like I have always seen Battlefield is one that I will argue against because there's so much more. There are so many more military aesthetic things that you can do in Battlefield that makes sense, and Battlefield does tend to feel a bit more grounded. Although again, people can hijack jets and do extra stuff. You know what I mean? But again, you're talking about a different level of player. Like those are the 360 no scope players. You know what I'm saying? That you have in COD. That's those guys is different. So, but yeah, we definitely don't need we don't have to have all the extra skins. You can do cool skins in a different way.
There's plenty of other games that do it.
Yeah.
Again, not every game has to have that, and I don't think Battlefield needs to be one of them at all. So, crossplay has now been confirmed to be optional. You can option out of the crossplay. They did state that their servers will always try to place you with your platform first, whether you opt out or not.
Okay.
And then they will fill in other platforms as necessary if you can't get a full lobby with your preferred platform. So no matter what, they're still doing it that way, which I think is cool. Again, I'll never option out. I don't give a shit. I don't get pissed.
Yeah, I don't.
It is what it is.
And people were saying like the difference between keyboard and mouse and controller was actually feeling really good from what they were playing in Battlefield 6 as well.
Yep.
They were saying that the aim assist doesn't feel unfair on controller, and people were like making the comparison between playing on mouse and key and then using controller. It doesn't feel so drastic as people complain about. And again, you're talking about people who are playing at a high level, who like this is what they do. So you take that for what it is.
Take it for what it is. 9 maps at launch.
I think that's solid. Because you got to consider 9 maps is broken up.
Right.
So that's something that you got to consider. I know it may not sound a lot to a lot of people, but 9 maps could be 18 very easily, knowing Battlefield.
I said, do this slow, Steel. If anything, give me a smaller selection of maps and work your way up. And that's exactly what they're doing. I said that, Steel. I said that multiple times in our conversation. I said, I don't care. Get those maps right. Have 9 solid maps out, or I didn't say 9. I said, have a small amount of maps out front and then work your way out. They have so many. I already see people, no Metro, no man. How come we don't have Metro? Bro, they're going to bring more maps. There is 1 billion maps from Battlefield that they can bring back that are going to be glorious as they get them done. But that's all that's down the road. Let them focus in and get something right with these maps. These maps, like Steele said, a lot of them do look like closer, tighter knit maps, but there are some open mountainous areas. In fact, one of the maps I think available for the beta is going to be the largest map that Battlefield's ever had. So they do have those as well. So I just believe that they're doing this right, Steele. The new destruction. This is not our standard Levolution from back in the day, although it looks like it and acts like it. They are now calling this tactical destruction. So they have changed the destructibility somewhat. Now, I watched interviews with some of the players saying that absolutely some of the battlefields by the end of the game are nothing but rubble, and you're taking cover behind little leftover pieces of a wall. That's what you're down to, which is old Battlefield. However, they have added to this, Steel. The biggest thing out of the playthrough was, again, we both brought it up behind the scenes when we were talking about it, but being in a building, multiple story building, knowing the dudes are walking in below you, and you C4 the floor right on top of them, and all of a sudden you've got high ground. And you are firing down into them. They were thinking that they were going to come up the stairs, and you just blew out the entire floor. When I saw that,
with a sledgehammer.
Even with a sledgehammer, you could do it with a sledgehammer too. But I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
because I was like, yo, okay. But even the outside destruction, the way the buildings collapse, like a lot of people were like, oh, it's just going to be the outside. The facade is just going to be the that fall.
The building collapse.
No. Eventually, the building will collapse. You have to hit it enough times, right? But again, destructibility, what they've added to this harkens back to the classic days. It's not just going to be big set pieces like it was in 2042. They are doing it the way that it used to be done, which we have all talked about as Battlefield veterans, as absolutely what they needed to get back to with the destruction. Again, this goes to the finals, like Steele brought up in our behind the scenes chat. Again, the finals, for anybody who hasn't played it or doesn't know enough about it, we'll say it again. The finals team over at Embark, they're made up of a large group of former Battlefield players from Bad Companies, Battlefield 3, and Battlefield 4. Made up of former Battlefield devs, I should say. The ones that did Bad Companies, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4. That's why the finals destruction is so good. Zampella has brought that back to Battlefield itself. So that right there, Steel, also exciting. 40 plus weapons at launch, plenty of weapons.
Good selection.
I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. I like what I'm seeing. Now, some people have said, Steel, and I will say I noticed it from watching all types of game. There's like no recoil, bro.
There's some of these guns, but they got And a pretty expansive attachment system.
They do. I gotta see a plain Jane weapon with no attachment because all the streamers were playing with attachments up front.
Yeah.
That I could see.
Yes.
But I gotta tell you, those guns are locked, bro. You're firing. There is no spread whatsoever. I don't care if it's an LMG. I don't care if it's I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care if it's a DMR. There is zero spread whatsoever, which is kind of cool because it looks good and it feels good.
It does look good and feel good. It's
but
yeah.
We're gonna see if they're again. I do like to your point, Steel. Everybody that I saw was pretty much using attachments.
They were using fully stacked, and there's a point system to the attachments as well. So it's like you're not limited to how many attachments you can put on technically, but you do have a certain amount of points that you can get up to meet whatever criteria for that gun, and it will change certain things about the gun. So I do see there being more versatility in a system like that. I can also see an LMG. Some people having an LMG, like they were making an example. I was listening to Tim the Tabman as an example. He was talking about it. He was like, hey, he used the AR and built it one way, and he felt a little slower with it. And then he built it another way, and it felt like he could come up real quick with it. So it's like when you can notice differences like that, that does add on to it. Now me, I like to throw a silencer on everything. I'm just that guy. I'm the dude running around with the silencer, iron sights, and got all the other attachments on there. Maybe I run around with the 50 round drum if I can, if I want to move slower. But so yeah, I mean that's another good point too as well.
Yeah, I can go on and on here because I've watched so much of it, Steel, but I just can't emphasize enough.
Did you notice?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about stuff that's inside the games and stuff that we kind of noticed. Did you notice the hit detection system that they have for when you die?
Oh yes. I was going to bring that up. On the UI, it shows you where the kill shot got you,
bro.
Like it tells you too.
I don't know why I was so impressed by that, but when I saw that, I was like, "Yo, it literally showed where you got shot at, and then what was what killed you." I like the concept of it. I like that.
Yep.
You as a player, when you die, have something else to look at to understand, oh, this is how he killed me. Or, there's some of those situations where you're running around or whatever. You're like, yo, what the hell did I die by? You know, you got sniped in the head. You know what I mean? So.
Right. The other thing, snipers look great. I'm actually decent at sniping in Battlefield. When I do use it, I don't use it very often, but I've been good at Bad Company days. I actually was pretty damn good, which is rare for me to ever say about any sniper rifle. I don't do snipers. So if they bring that back to that level, and from what I saw, again, looking good, that's going to be even more exciting. But again, the major thing for me, Steel, was seeing the class system, seeing the little additions, being able to ride on the back of the tanks. I need to see more of that. That is dope, bro. Like that is so cool. That adds a whole nother element.
Bro, there was so many times where you would spawn next to a tank, the two people would hop in, and you just get left in the dust. Everybody else is in a vehicle.
You just got to run.
They added more slots onto the tank.
Two slots on the back of a tank, so you can actually ride on the back. It's so cool, and it gives you partial cover too, as long as you're not getting shot from behind.
Super dope.
That's dope. I need to see more of the gadgets. I did see some gadget play, but I want to see more, Steel. There's some canister that you set down that looks like it's an auto fire.
I didn't notice that.
Okay, it's even in the trailer.
Oh, okay, I think I see it right here.
And you plant
it might be a motor.
It
might be a motor or something.
Yeah, but it waits. Like it waits because I saw people planting them and then running away, and it must have some type of, I don't know,
aiming system.
I don't know for sure, aiming system or radar system that when somebody walks into area, then it fires, and it actually is like a set of mortars that rains down. So I got to see those types of things in action. I saw one of the tanks. You see, one of the tanks has a radar. It's the anti-aircraft gun. Actually,
I
has
didn't see
radar that you can put up.
It
pops up and it starts spinning around. And I think it actually increases your radar range on the ground as well.
I like that.
That was dope. Oh, that was dope as hell. So I want to see more of the gadgets for each class, because each class, again, does carry its individual gadgets that are unique to the class. I didn't get to see a ton of those. I guess again, they're because things happen so quick in action. It's like, holy shit. I want to be able to see what we're working with there. But I love the UI. I love the clean look. They did change the UI. It's not a
It's
it's
not
still
bad. I
classic
like it.
Battlefield, but I like it. I like the new number system. I will say another critique that was pointed out that I didn't notice until one of the big Battlefield guys that has been watching closely pointed it out. Um, Damage on tanks and vehicles, steel, they don't have directional damage anymore. This was something that was
Mm.
big in older Battlefields that everybody kind of hoped was going to be back for this one. What I mean by directional, if you guys know, obviously weak spot on a tank, the back, right? The backside usually has lighter armor than the front side. If you hit a tank in Battlefield from the back with a launcher, it did more damage.
Yeah.
Well, now in this Battlefield, they actually have damage points that pop up as well. Steel, you notice that?
Yeah, I did notice
You
that.
get to see the damage points. People were watching the stream and it didn't matter where you were hitting the tank. It was the same numbers. And so a lot of people are like, that's got to come back. We need directional damage.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays
out. It was a strategy to get behind the tank.
Yes, you always wanted to get behind. Yeah.
Right. Because that's where their weakest armor was. So I'd like to see some of that stuff come back. Again, the shotguns have to be nerfed, bro. Like, like they are legit like rifles right now with high damage. Like it is crazy. But you know, those types of things, again, this is not final form. This is really early on. The fact that they're going to have this game out in October and it's looking this good, Steel.
Yeah, it looks
all those problems we talked about, all that smoke about crunch and about people burning out because, oh God, no work-life balance trying to get this game out the door. Sometimes I will say it again. I'm not going to say it's for everybody, but bro, people, no matter what job you do, a lot of people do their best work in crunch. A lot of people do their best work when you gotta push out
deadline.
a 16-hour fucking day and it don't matter. You stay till you get it done. Like the fact that it's looking this good, Steel, already in a lot of ways way ahead of where we were with 2040.
Bro, I'm not seeing the bugs. I'm not seeing the issues. Even
and the
watching
hit detection,
gameplay,
hit detection, bro.
It feels like it's on point.
Good. It's looking good.
At least in gameplay.
Just stuff like that. Yeah. And this is a whole new, basically, they rebuilt Battlefield from the ground up for this game. So for them to get to this point and be able to launch it in October ahead of where we kind of thought it was going to be early next year is pretty insane.
Yeah, no, that's
and the way they did this blowout, again, props to whoever's, again, Zampella, whoever's over in charge of the marketing to decide to go to a Call of Duty-esque style showcase like this, Steel, like you said, to have people come in from all over, play the game live, and just stream that for whatever it was.
That's confidence. There's a lot of confidence, bro.
There's a lot of confidence to do that. I don't care about the whole, having to hype people and, oh God, we're going to go interview everybody. Everybody's so excited. Like, I don't care about that. The fact that you gave us that raw gameplay from the floor live for that long, on top of doing this great like showing and it wasn't overdone, Steel. It was a nice breakdown of each class. They broke down the destructibility of it. They broke down the new features, right? They talked about Portal. We haven't even talked about the new Portal. Again, Zampella carried that over from 2042. A great idea.
They turned it into something else.
Right, that never came to fruit, but that was the original idea for 2042. But because 2042 had such a rocky start,
Portal they couldn't get it.
The Portal was basically abandoned early on. Steel, they had no time for Portal. Zampella has said, "Oh no, they're using the Godot engine. I think is what it's called.
Engine.
Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever that engine is. They're going to allow for custom build games. They showed off some of it, Steel, and the custom build games are going to give you full experience." Look, listen, I know there's going to destructibility, everything, but they had tanks flying in the air. They had you flying through rings of tanks and shit, bro. Listen, the stuff that the community, if this game, unlike 2042, starts good, it doesn't have to be perfect, but this game starts good and the hype continues to build for this game. The things that this Battlefield community will build within Portal are going to be insane. I'm not talking about just the crazy wackadoodle games that we get, like the Halo, custom game. I'm talking about people are going to create full cities. People are going to create full situational type matches in this game. Some of the modes, the new modes that they talked about, Steel, got me interested. Right away, we're going to have King of the Hill too.
Oh yeah, no, I really like that.
Right away, we're going to have King of the Hill.
Dom,
yeah, but they got that new mode where they're talking about, like, it's a build-up mode. I forget the name of it, but they said it's a build-up to one final massive battle that you kind of build up to at a center point. And that's what they were talking about, and it looked really dope. The Battle Royale is coming shortly after launch, they said. It is going to be available in Portal. So the Battle Royale is confirmed. So for all you Battle Royale fans, they are going to have one. Obviously, that's been the rumor. They announced it. They officially teased it. So that is coming. Firestorm.
Rescue.
They are working with a lot right here, Steel.
They do.
And they've got a ton of maps to pull from. It sounds like they are prepared to have content launches. This is not going to be a situation of Halo Infinite where they're unprepared as of right now. From what they are saying, they are ready. They are getting content ready, and they're going to roll it out on a consistent basis. Steel, we're back, bro. I think I'm going to confidently say, without playing this yet, without seeing the final product, that we have the best chance that we have had in probably a decade plus of having Battlefield back to where it belongs. Again, not about dominating Call of Duty, but about offering something completely different from Call of Duty, that you have a very, very large base playing on a regular basis, no matter what. Like, I think we're back to that point. I can see this as it stands now going 10 million plus, selling really quick for EA.
I can see it selling 10 million in its first month.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
I can see it happen. I can definitely see it happening.
It's saying a lot for a Battlefield game recently. And so I think that we could be there, and I think we might be even faster, but we will see. So that's my thoughts, Steel. Just my initial thoughts. Again, I can't say enough. I could sit here and talk about it. We could pull up clips. I could just watch clips all day, which I've been doing all week, because that's how good it's looking right now to me as an admitted, obviously, Battlefield fan. Like, I am a super fan. Like, I love Battlefield. So
again, these are the moments that you're supposed to get excited about. These are the moments where it gets interesting to hear other people's perspective and why they're excited for X experience. I mean, again, because you can say, oh, well, why are you excited for Battlefield versus every other shooter? And if you're asking that question, then maybe you haven't experienced Battlefield. Maybe your recent experience is anything that's after Battlefield 4, or maybe the beginning of how Battlefield 4 dropped was enough for you and you got off the boat. I'm telling you right now, from everything that I'm seeing, the gameplay that is running in the background, we are back in our bag when it comes to Battlefield. If you wanted a reason to try to play something different outside of Call of Duty and make an impact, I think that we have it here. The thing that does not keep me playing the finals, I have seen from this Battlefield 6 gameplay. And as a multiplayer faceted gamer, seeing the gameplay look as good as it does, seeing the sound come across as good as it is, seeing the map design look, they're not even using old maps to demonstrate what or try to get their point across. They're using new maps. Again, Operation Firestorm is just a cherry on top. You bring it back a classic just to bring it back a classic. I appreciate that. But again, to Pong's point about 9 maps, Battlefield traditionally, when Battlefield says they have a small number of maps, they typically take their one big map and split it into other maps. So that one out of the 9 is probably 3, which you just ended up with, now you got 12 maps if you go into a Domination, if you go into a King of the Hill. These maps that there are not going to be vehicles present. The other thing that's going to be really interesting, which again, and I got the juices flowing from this one, I feel different about playing Domination, Team D, King of the Hill. These modes outside of your typical Battlefield focus, rush, and conquest, I feel like I'm gonna be in these modes more. in comparison to how I used to play back in the day. Because previously, I only really liked to play either, if I wanted to play quick Battlefield, we're playing Rush. If I really want to get into a game, we prove our dominance and maybe fight for a little bit. Maybe the match starts out rough, we load in late, we load into a Conquest. You can do the same thing in Rush, but Conquest just adds a whole different level. Right, that's one side of the map to the other side of the map, and there's nothing like dropping into a Conquest map late and you being the team that starts stacking them tickets up. Nothing like it. But there's just too many things and too many ways that this game has been now highlighted to me. If there was any other gameplay that needed to be proven with as many people. Again, I know people say, oh, well, it's not good when they show up just by the streamers because it's in this closed environment and it can just be looked at a certain way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is telling me the leaks that we've seen were on point. Because now this isn't a leak anymore. This is, you just saw the gameplay and there's hours and hours upon gameplay from different people's perspective to just say that this was staged. The game is playing damn near flawless. At least from what I've seen thus far. And again, maybe I could pick out and we get Digital Foundry in here and they start looking in the background and saying, oh, the downscaling tech that they're using to do the stuff in the background and what, bruh, just watching the stream, I don't see how I can complain about anything. The only thing that I keep thinking is Battlefield is back. Oh, like the excitement that I have from seeing us getting killed by a sniper from out of nowhere, seeing the kill cam and running in my next life and seeing and taking down whatever building he's in. And now that I know that I can blow out the floor from underneath him, bro, I hope he moves after he snipes me because I'm coming. That's exciting to see. That's possibly to see tanks running through the bottom of buildings again to try to clear people out. Because that's what you used to get in Bad Company 2. People used to drive straight through buildings, especially in those hollow like houses or what, straight through. The whole building coming down. You want to stay up in there. And the feeling of Tank Commander Pong, right? That's what he likes to call himself. I'm the engineer that runs behind you with the tool repair kit. I'm in the turret seat trying to catch as many kills as I can, marking fools so you see what's going on, hopping out, pulling the repair tool out, repairing the fucking tank after we just took an RPG, pulling out the AR, shooting some shots off. People are trying to flank around. You taking out this other dude is aiming at you with an RPG. You get back in the tank, get some shots off, mark some more people. Bro, the intensity in those moments, and now especially as a medic that I can jump in and just pull you out of the action and tell you, get up. You want to hear some funny moments from me? Battlefield's going to be the thing that's going to really do it. Because it is hilarious, the moments that you have, even just with randos, when you're trying to make sure that y'all pushing objective to objective and just trying to get it done, man. Like, I can't say enough than reiterate everything that Pong has essentially said. The beta comes out Thursday of next week. I mean, guys, you're talking about, I may just do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It just might be just full on hours and hours of Battlefield gameplay live on the channel, the chat coming through, maybe live in split screen, we blow up and get 1,000 more subscribers just because we're playing Battlefield. That's it. We played so much Battlefield, we got 1,000 subs. That would be fucking fire. So I'm telling y'all, man, Battlefield is definitely back. The way that I feel right now is not how I felt about 2042. I was excited, right? Because I saw the potential. But then we got hands on, it was like, this hit detection though, the server though, like these classes though, some of these maps though, spawning in that fucking desert Dubai looking ass map, and the fucking people going to the top of the elevator, just sitting there the whole entire match sniping down. We couldn't get enough air support because nobody apparently knows, because the game isn't set up the greatest for that. Like, now,
I gotta say though, coming over the top of those dunes in a tank though,
that was good times.
People scatter in the open because there's no cover.
We cleared them out sometimes too. That was good shit. But and again, they have updated Battlefield 2042, and again, I know it does feel better. And again, we were still playing it, but we were playing it through it getting better, right? And we talked about it, right? When everybody was downplaying it, we were still saying like, we think Battlefield's still in a decent. I mean, it's decent, still fun. So it's exciting, man. It's definitely exciting seeing it back in the highlight, seeing it get the kind of views that it's getting as well. I think, let me see here. I'll pull it up right in the background for you guys. We do Battlefield 6. The Battlefield 6 trailer has 3.5 million views right now. On IGN, you're looking at over 600K. Classes in destruction, looking at 1.2. Multiplayer gameplay reveal event 2.7. Official reveal almost 10 million views. These are the numbers that you want to see from your first person shooter. So can't wait to get into some Battlefield next weekend. So chat, I mean, let me know, are you guys gonna be locked into Battlefield? Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a poll here. I'm gonna get a poll going for you guys. It's going to say, are you on board for the Battlefield beta festivities starting August 7th? Yes or no? Start poll. Boom. Yeah, they had every streamer in their room. Facts, Fame. Let's see what you guys got to talk about going on in here. Vandal says, I like Battlefield, but Cyberpunk broke me. I don't trust these companies. It's a little bit different. But again, we got Zampella at the helm, but we'll see.
We'll see. Anything nowadays, yeah, who knows? It's fine.
Tubabu Kumi came in here. What up, Tubabu? He says, I haven't played a game in over 9 months, and Battlefield has me seriously considering jumping back in. Damn, Kumi, the gamers got you like that? What happened? But you got to come back for Battlefield. You definitely got to come back for Battlefield. Tubabu says, went all in on music, so free time is extremely limited. Music has me by the balls. Hey, that's understandable. I appreciate you coming back through, man. Having, changing that focus, and you still coming through to check out. Hey, see the power of Battlefield, the power of Vince Zampella, bringing people back into gaming. I'm telling you, man, this is another one of those games that has that ability to do it if it's done right too. There's a lot of people who would just start coming out of the woodwork. Nixie says, did the devs go over if someone's health will be affected if rubble lands on them?
Yes. Well, they didn't go over it, but they showed it, and you can get crushed. Yes.
So that's good. That adds on to it as well. Yes, Nixie. America needs all their soldiers for duty on August 7th. Nam says he's not interested. God damn it!
Can't sell him on it.
No, that's fine. Hey, that's fine, man. I get it.
There's plenty to play. Again,
yeah,
this is Battlefield. Battlefield to me was one of the core games, man, for me.
How we got these votes in right now, and 57% of y'all are saying no. Why are you not on board for the beta? No, that's all good. I get it. If you guys, I mean, hey, if it's not for you, I hear you, but we're gonna be excited. We're gonna get.
Well, August 7th is the early access. Be technical, so they could be technically saying they just didn't get access to us.
Man, man.
So the 9th and the 10th are the actual open beta, right? So and then the 14th and the following week, whatever the following week is.
Well, but Jesse, you get to play the Battlefield beta before Mafia, so you'll get enough time. He said Mafia over Battlefield.
Down for being a beta boys. Not everybody's down for beta boys. That's fair. So that's fine.
Hey, there you go.
The shit out of this for 2 weekends. So
hey, it's gonna be a weekend long. Hey, you need any points to see why you should or should not play? You're gonna find out.
Yeah. And there's two sets of unlockables for each weekend too. So it's
really? Okay.
Two different sets. Yeah. So you can unlock one set for playing the first weekend and then unlock the second set.
Nice. Okay. That's dope.
Yeah. Includes camo, so skins, and all good shit. So, yeah. I'm in. It's gonna be a lot of Battlefield.
Nixie says, I noticed more gamers are getting increasingly cynical because they don't want to invest money in a game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you should be cynical regardless. I mean, you're spending your money on a product. Again, it's extremely easy for me to be like, what has more value to me over or anything. And again, I'm noticing it more and more. And for people who do end up having busy lives or whatever the case, I mean, you are already making those choices. I mean, those are the casuals that that these publishers and that the gaming industry is trying to reach out to, the people that are already, have succumbed to these other games, right? There's always going to be something that you could throw into that rotation. But even for me, I mean, I'm always going to tell you, again, I talked about it earlier. If there's certain games, I didn't play Delta Force. Delta Force is free to play, but I'm not going to play that game because I'd rather play a game that I would pay money for. You know what I mean? But is that a good sign for those devs who maybe would want me as a player? No, that's not good for them. But if that's just one example of what people are doing, imagine somebody who's not a hardcore gamer or isn't as adamant as I am or understands what they're looking for, right? They're going to be even more picky, or maybe not give you time, or just not maybe be invested, or maybe they play your game and then they don't play it again for however, whatever time. So there's a lot to throw in there. Nixie says, no, I mean cynical because their wallet is quivering, not because the game looks good or not. Everybody's wallet is probably, might be quivering a little bit.
Nixie's got unlimited wallets. Nixie's got unlimited wallets.
Man, Nixie, let me hold $1.
He don't ride like the rest of the normies. So
let me get $1.
Above all. Nixie's
cash out me $1, Nixie. How about that?
Nixie's the 1%er. He's the elite out here. He doesn't think and feel the same way as everybody else.
Yeah, it's fine. Hey man, but you gotta maybe you got the Porsche outside,
Yeah, obvious.
A nice little Audi or something. Shout out to Nixie, man. Appreciate you.
Oh man, Steel. No, we're gonna have a blast. We are gonna absolutely have a blast. I was making faces because I was watching earlier and I hadn't seen it, but I brought up our YouTube stream and I was back a ways. You were getting your ass beat by a dude with a bow. He was using his bow to beat your ass.
I was getting
like, that's not even a sword. He's an archer and he's just whooping you.
Yeah. He's beating my ass with that fucking bow.
How quick he was with it. Like you walked up on him and he turned around and just bam. I was like, holy shit. Oh, that game is pretty looking though.
He says it's like fear of or buyer's remorse is increasing a lot. If something interested me, I buy. I think we've spoken to that as well, right? I think that's what more people should do. But I think we also have
more choices than ever.
That's one, but the other side too is that a lot of people allow their choices to be made by what's popular or what their favorite reviewer says as well, who are not sure in what they like in particular. So that adds on to it as well. And I don't necessarily get the concept of buyer's remorse. I don't want to say I don't get the concept because I do. But if you have buyer's remorse, it almost, like, at least to me, tells me, like, then why did you buy it in the first place? Just because you thought you were going to like it? Again, especially for products that you can't return, or it's less likely for you to return, because by the time that maybe you have buyer's remorse, it might be too late, especially if you're only given like a 2-hour time span to decide whether you like this game that you just bought or not. I do find that a little strange, but I mean, I also don't think that you should just buy a game just because it looks cool. I think that steers you wrong a lot too. Like, again, like, I'm interested in what Lost Soul Aside is doing. I have been interested in it in some time, and because of my general interest, I'm going to play the game because it's going to be available to me to where I can access it at. Can I also acknowledge that it looks a little bit more AA than I was even expecting? And I mean, I don't mean AA necessarily in a bad way. It's just when I have noticed things in the past about games, I have been pretty accurate. When games come across flat, as an example, that lacks expression, you're telling a story, I'm not getting the feeling out of what you're trying to portray, could be an issue. Could it be a turnoff? Maybe. But I'm not going to have buyer's remorse if the game didn't end up being good. If I bought the game and it didn't end up being good, I'll know within the first couple hours. And because of the type of action combat that it is, like I don't have buyer's remorse for buying Final Fantasy 16. I don't have buyer's remorse, but I can tell you that the game was boring as fuck. That I felt that I got bored of it. And that's why I feel the way that I do. I wish I had hard mode available to me from the beginning of the game. I needed it. But that's me. And I've discussed that. So it just depends on how people decide to look at it. Shane G says, my son is 25 and he won't spend money on games and his friends don't either. I think the industry is in seriously trouble when we die off. There's a lot of that going on. I mean, again, you see what the deal is with Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, these games that keep these people invested. Call of Duty is the same thing. That's why I don't think competition is quite the same either. Because the competition now is not between Sony and Xbox. The competition now is trying to get the attention away from Epic with Fortnite. Well, with Microsoft in a way, because they got COD. But with Roblox, you're fighting for attention from this audience that, because again, the one thing I don't get the concept behind is people thinking that the generation behind me or behind them are going to play these games 10 years from now. Because I don't think that they will. I don't see them playing Elden Ring a decade from now. I don't. I think there's going to be something that how technology has been going is going to outpace it. You're going to be able to play Elden Ring in AR. You're going to be able to put on a set of shades and be playing Elden Ring. Whatever the next version of it is, depending on how technology goes. But a lot can change in the next decade. And you think these kids are going to be like, oh, I remember when my dad played this old Elden Ring game. It's not how we look at Sonic and shit. Like, that's what's crazy about this fucking generation right now. This era of gaming, it is unpredictable how things are going to move forward. Why not get as much of an audience as you can right now? Why not work on and focus on, the important things in the industry, creating games for your audience and having that be able to feed you maybe wanting to take that step out to create a live service game. Wow. This is how I see it. Vandal said, I got buyer's remorse quite a bit before Game Pass. And again, we see we're having the conversation with chat because y'all bringing up some good points. And Paul, don't let me kind of run through it or whatever. If you want to add on as well, it's just see them. They mentioned having some good conversation to be had in here. So, so you got buyer's remorse quite a bit before Game Pass, Vandal.
Yeah, because you can try it.
Yeah. That's the power of demos. And how come the industry doesn't see that as a benefit to you as the consumer? So are we just okay with them blatantly being okay with finagling us? Trying to sell you on an experience that doesn't exist? Why not have a demo? If Game Pass is your demo, great. But Game Pass is also a way. It's also so much more than that. That's what makes it different. So,
yeah. Like I said, I think it comes down to a lot of it is how much choice there is, and because there are so many free to play games now that give you opportunities to play pretty much without spending a penny unless you really want to. And the black hole games. I just think a lot of that all plays into it. And I don't think that, because back in the day, it was easy to go buy every game that I wanted to. If I bought every game that I wanted to right now, listen,
it's also less games. So consideration.
What?
There was also less games back then.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
that's what I'm saying. The number of games available. If I wanted to go buy every game that I was interested, like Nixie said in right now, I got to double my income. Like they're like,
oh yeah, it would be no way. There'd be no
like,
way.
There's no way. So again, it depends on the type of player you are. So I think everybody and obviously, I think that consumers should be a little bit more wary as the prices go up.
Oh yeah.
And the games continue to be broken.
Oh yeah.
Come out. I think that consumers.
It's not even a question.
Right. And I think that that's a natural kind of progression of where this industry has gone. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's where it's gone now. The amount of content that's available to everybody, along with the outside factors, like I said, as prices go up, People see these broken games, they buy a broken game, it's patched, down the road or wherever the case may be. That sucks. Like you said, Steel. People are, whether consciously or unconsciously, Steel, people are figuring out, something you've been talking about since we started podcasting, and obviously something I agree with. Single player games are better the longer you wait on them, generally speaking.
Unfortunately,
if you cannot play a game at launch because you can hold your FOMO, a single player game especially, right? Multiplayer games are different because sometimes
it's moment. They're more so moment based. MMOs are different, but
you can miss it all. But I'm just saying, single player games, people are figuring out that if you can hold your FOMO, if you don't need to be a part of the conversation right away, and you don't need to be playing what everybody else is playing right now, and you wait for that sale down the road, you're going to get it cheaper. All the patches are going to be in play, and that games are going to be performing better on whatever platform you choose to play it on. And I think more and more people, like I said, consciously or unconsciously, I think are starting to figure that out in their head still. Like, I don't need to buy the single player game day one. Like, I don't. Like, again, GTA, different level.
And certain games are always going to stand out above the crowd.
Certain games are always going to be like, but I'm just saying in general, when we're talking about with the amount of choices and the amount of games that people have now to play, yeah, I think that's a natural progression for people to start stepping back a little bit and going, yeah, I'm just not feeling it on that game. Is social media a part of it? Of course. If people are wrapped up here in the social media, we've talked about this. Are reviewers or social, anybody on social media are influencers killing games or hyping games prior to even launch? Yeah, of course they are. That is also a part of the equation as well. If you are on social media, if you are in the video game community, of course you can be influenced by that. Of course I know people are influenced by that. I see it all the damn time. Again, Cyberpunk being the perfect example. Cyberpunk is like the example of how a group of people can absolutely hype the game prior to launch, but then when the shit hit the fan, you can have another group of people absolutely tank the game. And then all of a sudden, when the anime comes out, when they make a couple patches, then all of a sudden everybody starts going, this game's actually really good. All of a sudden, all the other people who get influenced come back and go, you know what? Yeah, Cyberpunk's good. I'm picking it up again. I'm playing it now. Bro, we have seen that dynamic in action when it came to Cyberpunk. And those of us that were there day one that didn't have the issues that a lot of people had, they were playing on a Series X or PlayStation 5 and were cool with it. We were saying all along, at least most of us, it's a damn good, great game. But is the game better now than when I first played it day one? Of course it is. I can look back and go, yes, a lot of the overhauling they did changed how that game plays entirely.
It's a completely different game.
When I fired it up the other night on the tablet just to try out streaming on my tablet, even since I last touched it, I was like, holy shit, man. Like the systems are different, like everything.
Yeah, no, it's completely different experience.
The crowds, like the people walking around are different. Everything. I was like, oh wow, man. The driving felt so much better. So yeah, I think that's a big part of it, that single player games are just better now as you wait, and you can get them cheaper. So that's the nice part. Anyways.
Yeah, and Nixie was mentioning something that Kojima mentioned. I'm not saying Kojima's our GOAT god or anything, but he did say this week that he was disappointed with the state of the industry, and I wanted to get the quote that Nixie was mentioning, and he believes the most interesting work is happening among indies while big budget studios are churning out things that are safe and tremendously boring. Now, Kojima, you're expensive as fuck too, but I will agree that you are not the most safe and tremendously boring. So I give you a leg up on that. You definitely at least work on me as far as your storytelling goes and the way you implement game systems. And it's stuff that he mentioned about OD as well, where he blatantly came out. And I think this is how a lot of creators probably think, at least on his level, where he came out and was like, hey, OD, the Xbox game, you're either going to like it or don't. Like, that's where I'm at with it right now. And so he wanted to put that out there. And that was something else that I saw he did mention this week. And that probably was off the heels of that statement as well. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Kojima, man. He did his thing with Death Stranding too. So it got people kind of.
I mean, the fact that he's warning that already, though, did give me pause because I'm like, oh. he's really going to go sideways with this one. He's going.
Well, it depends on what it is, bro. If it's a horror game, I mean, again,
well, I'm
not
not playing no matter what. I already know it's going to be a horror game. I'm not touching it.
So it's going to be interesting to see how people feel about it.
It's just that he's going to try a lot of new stuff with this game, right? That was the reason why Google, originally was on board with him, because this was going to be something completely different. He's talked about it, right? It was going to be the biggest mix of movie and game that he's done yet. So, yeah. But the fact that he himself is already warning everybody that, there's a 50-50 shot, basically, is what he's saying, that you're going to like it or hate it. Oh boy, it's going to be one of those games that just drives people crazy, right? Especially if this is still being funded by Xbox, all right? And it's still an Xbox game, which, again, we haven't had confirmation that's still the case. It could have changed through all this, or it could have been altered. But if that's the case, man, we're going to have the discussions around this game are going to be something else, man. So,
I mean, but I think we need more of that, man. We need to be able to have more.
That's why I love Kojima.
Discussion.
So I love Kojima. He pushes the industry forward in a lot of ways. People don't give him enough credit. People think he's crazy. People hate his games, or don't like his games, or say that he's overrated, that his games aren't that great. Yeah. Again, that's personal taste. But the thing that I will always say about, again, I don't like every game Kojima does. It's not always for me. Like OD is not going to be for me. I can tell you that right now. But the facts are the facts. Kojima, because he thinks the way he does, because he is more of a movie director in a video game developer body, and he happens to be really good as a video game developer, he brings things to the table that other traditional devs don't, as far as the mental side goes, and as far as what he thinks when he thinks outside the box. And I think that that's important to the industry, to have creatives like that, obviously, because otherwise, as we've seen, things can get very stale. To his point, things can get very samey when you have the same type of people making the same type of content all the time. It happens in podcasting. It happens everywhere. If you all have the same perspective all the same time, and you do it all the same way, it gets monotonous. Nothing's different in video games, and that's what we see with the big AAA space, especially. Nobody's taking risks anymore. Kojima is a AAA game developer who takes massive risks. Death Stranding was a massive risk as an IP. Massive, right? Yeah, you can say, well, it's Kojima, so of course. No, it still was, and still to this day, there's a large group of people who call it a walking simulator, who have no interest in that game, and it's boring as hell to them, whether they've played it or not. But there's not a lot of AAA places that would go into a game knowing that, just like he's admitting with OD. There's not a lot of AAA big budget games being made where the developers or publishers are going, 50-50 shot, our audience is going to like this one. Hell no.
No. If they don't think it's higher than that, then it's not.
They ain't funding that shit, right? That's the whole thing. We're seeing all these.
But then again,
my God, we just found out 2K canceled a BioShock remake. Easy freaking money, and they canceled a BioShock remake. Well, again, this is where the AAA space is at now, and you got Kojima out here just doing wild, crazy things, trying to blend genres, trying to do all sorts of things. That's why I give him full credit. So,
yeah, I mean, I agree with the industry needing to do different things. There is too much product and not enough people to experience the product. And if it's going to take people continuously being different, it's going to take the indie scene to blow things out and pull out interesting concepps to be implemented. Again, that's why I'm on the side of a game like Light of Moderum. I think we could go ahead and get into that topic, jumping into the scene, because I think it helps keep the bigger publishers on their toes. Because I do think what we're seeing from a lot of these Chinese companies, as an example, what Tencent is doing with even Destiny, right? Their Destiny Rising or whatever has like 3 million people that signed up for it, plus or more. And I think it's in early access or in beta, whatever the case. It's the mobile version of Destiny. It's doing something a little bit different, adding some different mechanics. They're Call of Duty Mobile. Why is Call of Duty Mobile? Why is Call of Duty not understood what its players are looking for? Players like Call of Duty Mobile because it is fucking Fortnite. You have every fucking random ass skin. You have some dope ass skins in there. You got all the fucking maps from every COD that ever existed in that damn game. Why do we not have that in the console version of Call of Duty? Why are we getting less product than where we have it in other places than where the Chinese devs are giving it? Because they understand their version, and I get the mobile base may be different, but you don't think that everybody on console wants to play the older Call of Duty maps? You don't think that they want more skins? You see the skins that you're dropping right now. If you're not serious, then let's not be serious. Expand your base out. COD doesn't need to be this thing. This is the biggest strike that I will have against Microsoft. If Microsoft does not take Call of Duty, if this big publisher does not decide to take Call of Duty on a 2-year break, and put everybody working on one Call of Duty, and that be the one that you support for 4 or 5 years and make sure the cosmetics and things move forward, I'm going to say that that's a negative mark. And if it takes other developers from other countries to take a similar IP, like in the case of Light of Moderum, where apparently that there was a conversation had between them and Tencent, them and Sony, with them in PlayStation about making a Horizon game, and you say no for whatever reason, whether it's the rumors that the Horizon multiplayer game or their Monster Hunter-like clone that they're creating, and you still don't have any information about that and give me no reason to believe that that is going to be something that's successful. Although, Pong, I was surprised to hear that Horizon has sold over 30 million copies for the series. Again, if that number is believed to be 100% accurate, and again, it was sold with consoles as well, right?
Yeah, no, it was packaged. Yeah.
So with Horizon Forbidden West especially, they did a major package deal with that one. But
more fans than people believe, just because so many people are so loud about Horizon is not
true.
Fans of it. There are that was a big franchise. Again, I personally want
to, and that demonstrates it. Hey, 30 million copies for the franchise this far. Obviously, the franchise has something there. But there's also something to be said when these bigger publishers don't look at their IP. Well, they look at their IP. You want to make a VR game, but you're not expanding it in ways that could help you right now. But you're looking for ways to be successful in live service, quote unquote. But you get mad when these teams who are trying to team up with you bring you this idea, possibly give you a way in until you get to where you're going, and you say nah, and then you get mad when they change some things up. So in this topic for Sony suing Tencent over Light of Moderum, Sony is suing Tencent over the game called Light of Moderum, claiming it borrows heavily from an internally scrapped Sony project. Allegations include similar character archetypes, visual tone, and even copied concept art. If true, this could set legal precedent around international IP protection. Major points on this one is Sony alleges Level Infinite accessed internal pitches via former Sony devs. The game hasn't been fully shown, but allegedly mirrors Sony IP. Now, on that point, we have seen gameplay of Light of Moderum, and it does not play the same way that Horizon plays. Horizon has a little bit of a different flow. Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, at least from what I've seen, has a little bit of a different flow. The flow that they're taking with Light of Moderum seems to be a little bit more of the survival-esque Power World kind of perspective, action adventure survival kind of thing going on, right? Not like the trap based and bow kind of gameplay that you saw from the traditional Horizon, at least from what I remember experiencing. Sony claims copyright infringement on the design, narrative, and branding. Legal battle could affect how studios handle cross-border IP concerns, and Tencent has not responded publicly yet. And I'll open it with this. Pong, with increasing tension over IP in the global market, how should publishers defend their ideas without stifling innovation across borders? How do you trudge this? Because again, as we mentioned earlier, when we teased this topic, there is This one has more of a fine line to it than what we've experienced with Pokemon and Power World. Again, I do think Pokemon needs to go look at Dragon Quest, I believe. If they really want to kind of reevaluate what they see is pulling from where. But nonetheless, I can definitely understand the conversation about this one more than I can most. Although, as I mentioned earlier, I still think that due to the lack of innovation with your own IP and them, you having mechanical animals is not your concept. This is something that I remember from Beast Transformers back in the day when I thought that was dope. There's so many other things in creative works that have done something similar as well. Now, in a rundown world in a foresty area, I won't lie, Pong, there's a lot of things that are like, eh, you're definitely more than just knocking on the door. You've opened the door. You've been staring at me for quite some time. But what do you take from this, and how do you feel about stifling innovation across borders?
I mean, I'll leave it up to the attorneys to figure that shit out. Like I said, with Pal World and Nintendo, I think it's egregious trying to lock down a mechanic as simple as capturing a monster in a ball. Like I think that to me crosses the line. Now, when it comes to visually, copying, like again, I mean, part of this lawsuit that I read is that PlayStation is going to claim that people will be confused between the two games. And on first blush, looking at them side by side in certain parts of the advertising that Tencent did use for this game, yeah. I mean, if you didn't put the titles up there and you just put the picture of their game up there, what's it called again? I'm sorry, I always forget this title.
Light of Moderum.
Light of Moderum. That's why. Okay. I always forget that freaking name. You put Light of Moderum up there, I might say it might be a DLC.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I at first glance, like if I wasn't like looking. So I think there is, the added piece to this story is that Tencent supposedly approached PlayStation and asked to license Horizon and were rejected and turned around and just made this game. So to me, that feels like they were just assuming they were going to get the license. They probably already had like a lot of the storyboarding for this game done. And then they wound up being rejected and said, well, screw it. We're going to go ahead with it anyways. And just leaned into it. I don't know. This is a much tougher one because I do look at it and go, Jesus. Okay. Mechanics though wise, if it's completely different, if it plays completely different, and they didn't take a lot of that from, then I go
custom
okay,
characters.
Well, then, right. Then, again, you do have the right to obviously use inspiration, and things can be very similar. And we're getting to the point in video games still where ideas are not, when you think of something now, it's probably been done, right? We got Zelda clones, right? We got original Zelda clones. You look at the 8-bit space and the 16-bit space.
That is true.
You got
a lot.
You got Streets of Rage.
The beat 'em ups. Yep.
You got the beat 'em up. Like
Shmups,
you could look at some of them, be like, oh, that looks almost exactly. I mean, you could do that, especially the 8-bit and 16-bit graphics, because they're not a whole lot of details to them, right? You can look at that stuff. I mean, look at Vampire Survivors right out the gate.
Oh yeah,
they were the Castlevania. It was straight up like they finally got DLC with them. Like Konami said,
but
hey,
no, it was. You could see the reference, yeah.
You could see the references. Of course you could. So I think that some of that does, I think some of that does fall into fair use. Some of that does fall into the fact that, hey, it's just it's inspired by this. Obviously, we did take, atmosphere from it, but there's nothing wrong with that. Right? We got spin-off. There's high fantasy worlds that are very much like Tolkien's worlds, right? We have again, you run into this like books, movies, TV, video games. Eventually, the creatives start copying each other. Eventually, the creatives start looking at things and going, "Hey, I'm going to take this from here. I'm going to take this from here. I'm going to put it in this thing." And sometimes it's almost exactly like it. Sometimes it's almost one for one. But I think that Sony has the right in this case to test it if they want to test it. It's an uphill battle to prove this. Again, it's not easy, especially I think this was filed in the United States, right? Or was this filed in Japan? Do we know where it was filed?
I don't know where it was filed at.
Okay. I'm going to assume it was filed well, I shouldn't say that because we're talking about a Chinese company and we're talking about a Japanese company. So this technically could have been filed in Japan. If it's in Japan, they got home court advantage. The Japanese courts are much more likely to side with something like this. That's why Nintendo filed against Palworld first in Japan. The Japanese courts are notorious for this, for protecting this, and taking these, what we would consider more frivolous lawsuits, and actually taking them serious and siding with the companies. So
it says Sony Interactive Entertainment is suing Tencent in California federal court.
Okay, so it's U.S. court. So they got an uphill battle, right? They got a more uphill battle here. Now, Tencent being a Chinese company within the United States courts, could I see judges being more favorable to Sony? Yeah, of course I can, right? When we're getting political here, but that's the way shit works in reality. But overall, the U.S. courts, it's a much steeper climb to get these types of cases to go favorably for you, because you have to prove without a shadow of a doubt that Tencent was trying to copy, your IP and trying to use your IP to boost their own, and actually stealing ideas from your IP. So I'll be interested in watching this one again. I'm not an attorney. I don't care. I'm just from the outside, just speculating on shit. Just kind of knowing the overview of what this looks like. I'm interested in seeing where this goes because, like I said, Steel, the more of these cases that get brought, and what I was saying about Nintendo and why I think that the industry as a whole, I'm sad to see the industry not backing Palworld. The more of these that happen, the less that this will be, the less ideas that will go forward, and this is right now amongst the giants, right? Well, Palworld's not a giant, but again, you know what I'm saying. This is amongst the giants right now. This will start trickling down into that AA and indie scene, because we know that right now the AAA space is feeling threatened, Steel, that the big boys are feeling a little bit of threat from the AA and indie scene. And they will start using these types of cases to start going after the little guys. We know this. They don't care. These corporations don't give two shits. If they can run people out of this business, less competition, they will do it. They could smile and say all day long that they love the indie scene, that they support it. Oh, look at how much money.
Oh, no, yeah.
ID at Xbox, all these.
You inspire too much. We got something.
Yeah. No, now you're starting to take from our pie. Now you're starting to make us look bad. Now we're going to use what we can to go ahead and start nibbling away at you, and then eventually shut you down, so that you start bringing forth an idea that even is similar to something we've done. Oh, we've got the money. We'll run you dry because we know you don't have the money to fight it. That's what happened with Palworld already. That's why they backed down already.
I mean, they've had to. Yeah,
they don't have the money. They don't have the money of a Nintendo, right? That's why it's interesting, Sony and Tencent, because we're talking about two.
Yeah, we're talking about two different types of players. Yeah, right. Tencent can have that fight with Sony if they want.
Yeah, they're gonna have their top tier attorneys. Sony's gonna have their top tier attorneys, and this is probably going to be a battle of two titans. But I'm just saying that this stuff will start to trickle down more and more if these cases start going in favor of a Nintendo or in favor of a PlayStation. These cases will be used against the little guys. And that's what I don't want to see, because again, a lot of times the indie scene, AA scene, they take a lot of ideas from the big boys, but they also iterate on those ideas, and they take risks with those ideas that the big boys won't do. And I don't want to see that go away. I don't want to see that happen.
And Nixie brings up the point. He's like, he says, lawsuits don't surprise me. Companies are extremely protective of their IP more now than ever. And as you should be. Right. Be protective of your IP. But you also got to respect somebody who's able to take a vision, turn it into something of their own, and based off your inspiration, possibly make something that can be successful. Again, if they're able to prove without a shadow of a doubt that they directly stole and this has too much influence based on that, then hey, it plays out the way that it plays out. But that's like Diablo going to Last Epoch or Path of Exile and saying, hey, especially Path of Exile, Blizzard going, yo, GGG, you stole our flow. But just because you added some additional perks and a better skill tree doesn't mean that it's not our same game. It feels the same. Although they're dealing with some conceptually different things. So no, there's demons in both. So I don't know. And again, I think that's part of the thing too. Dixie says the companies are shameless with no respect. Tencent doesn't have to respect nobody. They're a Chinese company too. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to get away with whatever they can get away with. And obviously, Tencent, again, this is different from the Power World situation. Tencent, if Tencent was involved in any way and there was a deal or something happening behind the scenes, there was a conversation had with Sony, they felt confident enough to continue to support the progress of this game. And we'll see what they say. Again, we haven't heard from them. Maybe they'll back down come Monday and say, "Oh, based off what Sony said, we won't. Well, we're going to be pulling Light of Moderum from. It's not going to be releasing." I don't foresee that happening, just based off of what I've seen from gameplay alone.
Right.
The individual games are different from each other. A game with survival elements, action adventure, more in the line of a Monster Hunter. I don't consider Horizon Zero Dawn Monster Hunter. Although you can hunt the mechanical monsters, but it's just not the same. Like, no. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. And I agree with you, Pong. It's going to be interesting to see how things go.
Yep.
Let's see. What else do we got on the list here? We got into what we needed about Battlefield there. I had Phantom Blade Zero on here, but I don't really have too much to say other than showing the combat or just talking about the gameplay and stuff. People were saying it's more akin to like a Sekiro, maybe a little bit even easier than that. I have here as a major point that it's they say that it feels like Sekiro meets a Ninja Gaiden. I don't think that's a bad combination. They're saying it also blends cyberpunk with traditional Chinese fantasy aesthetics. Again, another Chinese game. It has more than just flashy CGI. There's still no release window. Other than that, people are saying they're feeling good about it. There were some content creators that went out and actually played the game this past week, and from what I've seen from it so far as well, it looks like the gameplay is going to match the previous gameplay showings that we've seen of it. So, well, the previous presentations we've seen, I should say. Kind of similar to what Lost Soul Aside. I mean, again, I think this one looks like it's in a better condition for sure than Lost Soul Aside. I don't have any information as far as development or anything else like that. But again, looks like to be more on the action-oriented side and speaking to those of us who are also looking for not just the Souls-like experience, but also something that is a little bit more flashy, a little bit more actiony. So that's cool to use as well. Nixie says Wild Hearts didn't get sued. No, Wild Hearts didn't get sued. That's a straight up Monster Hunter clone. Straight up Monster Hunter clone. Just because they added Katakuri and that gave me something that I can remember offhand, and you could build boxes, does not mean it's not a Monster Hunter clone.
Right.
It's still traps. You do this very similar thing. It's literally a ripoff, and it just had performance issues and didn't get enough support quick enough.
Right. Exactly.
It was the same for me. Vandal says, I think Horizon is boring. Got 2 hours in it and put it down. Again, same for me. I put 10 hours into it and I put the game down. Horizon Zero Dawn. If I can't beat Zero Dawn, I'm not going to ever jump into Forbidden West. So, and again, it's time that people don't have seen up and down conversations about it. So, to each their own. Let's see. Don't have nothing else on my list of things to cover here. Let me see if there's anything else. Nintendo raising prices. That's another thing that went out there this week. Again, there was the Canadian prices that we're seeing. I think the prices went up about $30 or so, maybe more than that, from what I was seeing. then Nintendo's going to do. I mean, raising prices on an old console and older games is insane to me, but Nintendo can do it. Let's see what we got here. Tokyo Extreme Racers doing some teasing still. LSS got another gameplay preview as well. That one's looking good. It's not as Souls-like as people might thought that it was going to be. It's more action-oriented, less reliance on the map, more you focused on exploration, you being dependent on your own exploration. So that's really cool in concept. Vandal says that he'll try Horizon one more time when it comes to Xbox. Whole slate. You stupid Vandal. Nintendo did have the direct, so you do have Monster Hunter Stories that is coming to Xbox as well, and I think there were some other ones too. Pac-Man World Repack. Pac-Man World is always going to be a classic, kind of OG for me. But I don't have anything to add on from the Nintendo Direct. I didn't watch it myself, so let me know in chat if y'all seen anything in there. Another thing that was mentioned in a hot take this week was the 6 or so Microsoft games hitting the top of the list of the PlayStation charts. So for the list, we got Forza Horizon 5 sitting at the top of the Sakana list here. Then we have Oblivion sitting at number 2, the remastered. Got MLB The Show at 3, Black Ops 6 at 4, Doom at 5, Indiana Jones at 6, Minecraft at 7, Shadows at 8, Grand Theft Auto at 9, and 2K WWE at 10. God damn, do these people love some Xbox games. Now, again, that is multifaceted though, because as Pong did mention earlier, a lot of these games would have been going multi-plat regardless, right? Again, the standouts are, to me, even Oblivion Remastered, I think would have gone everywhere regardless. But no matter what, still seeing it number 2, and because you do got to kind of keep the rules consistent when people go into war here about these things. Again, not what we professionalize in, so maybe we're not doing it the greatest, but nonetheless, I do think Forza Horizon 5 being at the top of that list, and again, us continuously hearing the high numbers from that game when PlayStation has its own racer on their end that doesn't seem to be getting the same conversation. Although, not to downplay it, Gran Turismo has done what it seemingly has needed to. I do think that this is interesting. Right? This is doing exactly what Microsoft needs it to do. And I say Microsoft outside of Xbox because this is a Microsoft thing more so than anything. Right? So Black Ops 6 is expected to be there. Doom. I think Doom being up on the list is important because it at least is saying that it's doing better than other people kind of said that it was doing. Right? There was a lot of people saying that Doom is not successful, is not selling, and this is proving that, hey, I mean, people on PlayStation are playing it, so there's that. Nixie says, curious, was the Microsoft acquisition supposed to be a failed proposition? I hope not. Then it said the sales chart, from my point of view, are quite normal. It's not quite normal when you're seeing Microsoft on that list when Sony doesn't have its own games to kind of put on that list. Although that does say a lot, right? Again, there's no Sony first party. Helldivers isn't on there or anything like that can speak to that. Gran Turismo wasn't up on that list. They put out an update for The Last of Us. They didn't get a spike from that to have it more so you could play Last of Us more in a timeline that made sense, apparently. So that's out there. You didn't see a big tick up in that. With Ghost of Yote along the horizon, maybe you would have saw a tick in Ghost of Tsushima sales going up there. People buying it on a PlayStation 5 Pro. People who are just getting into the PlayStation 5, right? You got 70 million consoles out there. Maybe there's more to add on to that table. It adds on that Microsoft purchased legacy IP brands that are mainstream. Seems normal to me. Yeah, it's normal. It's not normal for it to be Microsoft's name that's up there, though, right? Again,
Nick. It doesn't matter who because there's a lot of people that feel that way. Yeah,
sure.
It's easy to shrug your shoulders now. And again, When Mav had a Mav cast earlier in the week and whatever else he brought up on Thursday, I kind of chuckled too because I was like, "Come on, man!" I mean, because he made a post and people are all underneath, and I'm like, "Well, their points are correct." And again, Nixie's not wrong, but I'm just saying it's easy now to shrug your shoulders. But had you said this was going to be the case in the beginning of the generation, we were all told you guys are crazy, right? So again, if you want to take the contrarian perspective, not the contrarian, but if you just want to take the logical perspective at this point, well, of course, Microsoft is now third party. So of course they're going to have top sellers on PlayStation. Like, sure, you can do that, but that's not interesting. What's interesting is if you go back to 2020 when this generation started, if somebody had said by 2025 that Xbox, Microsoft would hold 6 of the top 10 games on the PlayStation, it doesn't matter what games you're talking about, 6 of the top 10 games on the PlayStation Store, people would have laughed their asses off on both sides. People would have said, "You are freaking crazy. What the hell are you smoking?" Right? I think that's the more interesting part is how far this has evolved. Yes, I agree that most of those would have been in the top 10. Now, I think that there is something to dive into on Forza Horizon and on Indiana Jones, whether you believe Indiana Jones would have been on everything it would have or not. The way, and when we talk about this stuff, we're not talking about the masses. The masses don't live here and the masses don't make noise and talk. So I think that everybody probably has a basic understanding that we talk about this. We're not talking about general PlayStation fans. We're not talking about general Nintendo fans. We're not talking about general Xbox fans. We are talking about the conversations that actually happen. Whether they matter or not is a whole separate conversation. We are in this community. So Forza Horizon and Indiana Jones were 2 games constantly bashed by the other side when they were considered Xbox only games. Constantly bashed. Constantly said, doesn't matter what everybody was saying about Horizon. That side was constantly still saying it wasn't a good game. It wasn't quality. It was nowhere near Gran Turismo, even though they're 2 separate games. All those comments were made. So it is interesting that noise has now gone quiet in this community for the most part, now that they are on PlayStation, and not only this community, but the masses are also buying Forza Horizon and Indiana Jones as well. For as much as those games were absolutely slandered, all we heard in this community when Indiana Jones was announced, number one, nobody's ever going to want to play a first person Indiana Jones. Should have been third person. Number two, it is not even close to Uncharted. Constantly. You think this is going to be Uncharted? This ain't Uncharted. Never was trying to be Uncharted. Was trying to be Indiana Jones. All that talk is now gone that it became available on PlayStation, and it's selling well. I think those 2 cases right there, though, are interesting points that they are up there. They are showing something much like Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves slandered when it wasn't on PlayStation. Slandered. Who plays that cartoon bullshit? Nobody's going to be a pirate. That's all garbage. Oh, God. Nonstop. Shows up on PlayStation, sells millions, right? Community goes quiet about it. So there is a lot of hypocrisy exposed to the talking points that go on. Again, that happens on all sides. We know that. Goalposts are always moved. But I think in general, Steel, it is just more interesting to look at it from an industry perspective that no way 5 years ago, Steel, that we would have thought we'd be talking about this kind of Circana chart right now. No way. No way would I have told you in 2025 that PlayStation would not have any first-party titles really out. Right? Yes, they're going to have Ghost of Yotai, etc. I get that. You guys all know I get that. But what I'm saying is no way I would have thought that would have been the case right here, right now. So I think that's the interesting part. And I think there is a conversation to be had. And I think that it's a sign of the times. And the one thing that we did say, Steele, really early in this generation, and you can go back and listen to all our podcasts. One conversation that kept coming up was that this generation, more than any other generation over the past few generations, we're going to determine the future of where the video game industry was going. Now, a lot of our guesses and speculation were completely wrong about how this generation was going to go and where it was going to lead to, but some of them are still right on freaking track. And some of them are playing out pretty close to what we were talking about, just in a whole kind of different way. But this generation really is shaping the future of gaming. And that goes to these sales charts right here that Microsoft has got 6 out of 10 spots. It says a lot. So, anyways. That's where I'm at,
and I mean, Nixie says, why do we pretend that the few vocal represent the average gamer? Just because they talk doesn't mean the narrative to build on.
That's our community, Nixie. That's our community, Nixie. That's
but it's even
here. That's who we are.
It's even more than that. It's even more than that, Pong. Because I want you to add on, because I'm going to add to probably what you're saying as well. What I want to add on is because there's a reason why PlayStation's popularity is also what it is. People with dead ass say that PlayStation is the better brand, and PlayStation has no first party games right now. They do not have a series of games to speak for themselves this year, point blank period. And the smoke that people gave Xbox for 2022 and have given Xbox previously is not the smoke that people are giving or had been giving PlayStation over the last 2 years. The PlayStation 5 generation has not been that great in comparison to what you're getting on Xbox. It just hasn't. Point blank period. It's not even remotely close. It's not debatable. Paul, go ahead. Go ahead and add on what you were going to say. That's what we do.
I don't know. Again, the view, again, I think it's partly done on purpose, and that's it is what it is. We are talking here. We're not talking to the average consumer.
That's fine.
Again, yeah. I don't think that I don't understand how that's even lost in translation. I don't understand how that's not like a given. Like when we talk about the masses, we point out the masses and we point out that stuff. The vocal minority, as you call it, is still representative of the different platforms because they are the enthusiasts. They're not all the enthusiasts, but they are, generally speaking, what we would call a portion of the enthusiast base that drove
like sport fans
for decades. Right. You go online here, you're not talking about the average sports fan when you're talking to other fans here. You guys are in a different class than the average sports fan. So, Nixie, we don't have these shows for the masses. We're not talking to the masses. We talk about the community and the things that are going on here, but they are the enthusiasts, right? We are the enthusiasts. We are what drove this industry for decades to even get to a mass appeal point. Without us, the enthusiasts, this industry would have failed long ago. This industry wouldn't be in the shape that it's in right now, right? So that's the conversations we have. And the vocal minority is very representative. There is a much larger vocal community of PlayStation fans and have been on this platform, right? Whether you're talking about YouTube, whether you're talking about X, Twitter, whether you're talking about Facebook, I don't care what you're talking about. There is a bigger portion of PlayStation fans that is relative to the bigger console base, the more popular, right, than there are Xbox fans. Same goes for the Nintendo side. If you go swim in the Nintendo side, same story over there. There's a bigger representation. So you can say, well, it doesn't matter about the masses. You're right. No, we're not talking about the masses. We're not talking about that. Like if masses knew half the shit that we talk about on a weekly basis, I think a lot of their perspectives would change, but they don't because they don't care. So no, we're not going to talk to them because no matter what we say here, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, bro. My brother's a hardcore gamer and he does not give a fuck.
He doesn't give a fuck. That's why I said it's not even all the enthusiasts that are here.
That's what's crazy.
A portion of the enthusiast base. But I just don't think there's any way not to understand that when we come talk about this stuff, if we just sat here and just read the news like the channel, like your mainstream media reads the news to the casuals, right? That'd be a totally boring, and there'd be only have to be a couple people doing it, right? If that's how it works.
Yeah,
right?
like
'Cause that's what happened to mainstream news. CNN is not made for the enthusiasts who are into politics because the enthusiasts know a whole hell of a lot more than what CNN presents, right? Or Fox News, or take any of them. I don't care who you take. That is for the masses. That is for the boomers who don't know what is going on the internet. The boomers don't even know what AI is doing to them, doing to them right now. They don't know what's fake and what's real anymore. That's what that's made for. We here, that's what IGN is for. IGN is for the masses for the video games.
Yes.
Us on these podcasts.
And that's why we get critical about IGN because that's who is looking at this content.
They present crazy information. They present weird, whatever. We're here, speculation town, big opinions,
we here talk about this stuff the way that we talk about it because we are on a different interest level than the masses, because we are not talking about them. We are talking about the people in this community. We're talking about the groups in this community that do drive the conversations that we have here. And if you don't know these conversations really do happen on all sides, if you don't know that there are obviously, people with all sorts of different wild ideas that move goalposts on a weekly basis on all sides, then I don't know what to tell you about that. But we're here just giving our perspective, our opinion, and that's it, man. That's it. But it would be very boring if we didn't do that. Again, there'd be no reason for Steel. Steel and I would never agree to do this show if all we're going to come on and take turns reading off an article like that. And saying that's the news for this Saturday. That's the gaming news.
There's a whole reason why me and Paul can make these shows last as long as we do unintentionally. Because we're literally just talking about different perspectives of how we feel about what we're seeing that's happening and the conversation that's surrounding it. Because for decades, I've been around people who get their information from big websites, or they get their information from a clique of people, from small communities, as we're mentioning in chat, or just, what you see is, even the community that we're in is a small portion of other communities, right? Again, I come here all the time and tell y'all, gotcha gamers don't give a fuck about what y'all saying in chat right now. They really don't. They don't care about what I'm saying. They call me casual. They don't want me speaking on their games. Point blank period. And they're no different. A gotcha gamer would tell you that I shouldn't be talking about Wuthering Waves because I'm a casual. I'm a noob. I haven't been playing every update. I don't roll for characters. I don't spend real money on the game. I am a waste of time. If I started making content, they would tell me that I have no reason to talk about this damn game. I don't do that here. We don't do that here. There's other places that do the exact same thing. They'll talk about you and your talent on whatever game that you're playing and use that as the full basis for your whole character arc. I don't care about that. I just want you to be real about what you're talking about and have some concrete evidence, or at least a backbone to the things that you're saying. I feel me and Paul provide that in every perspective that we try to bring here, whether it be the conversation from the community that we're seeing here. Because again, I mention all the time, I look at Facebook, I look at Twitter, I look at Blue Sky, I look at YouTube, I consume gaming content on a week-to-week basis. There are certain shows that I don't tune into. There are others that I do. And I'm looking through the comments to see what people are kind of saying. Am I living on Reddit and trying to have conversations back and forth? Do I argue with motherfuckers on X? No, I don't. Why? Because I enjoy the hobby at a different level than even those people do. I don't see how you're going to be playing Wu-Chang and be texting people dialogues of shit unless you're just using ChatGPT to respond to people. Which again, then you're not even, look at what AI's doing. And I think, again, some of the favorite people that are on this site, that is what they're doing. You expect for me to believe that people like Nib, as an example, that's what you do? You spend hours of your day writing out dialogue for people to understand because you got a blue check mark? Really, bruh? If that's what you do, then, hey, I hear you. You got a lot of time to do that and get whatever gaming that you get in. But anytime that I think that I'm going on a dialogue, I feel I am spending time out of my day at a significant amount to even go back and forth with people. If we can have a conversation, then great. But it definitely does expand into a wider conversation about, hey, these Microsoft games that people said were not significant or didn't mean anything. People talk smacked about Forza Horizon, and Forza Horizon is at the top of the fucking charts. That is something to talk about. You have Gran Turismo. If it's about competition, as the way that people have mentioned it before, or if you got better games, go play GT Sport. Why are you playing Horizon 5? If you don't think Indiana Jones is worth it, again, I sat here and told you, I still haven't played Indiana Jones. It is available to me in Game Pass. I am not going to play Indiana Jones. I have never played Uncharted either. So I don't have that reference point to make. But all the people that say, "Oh, this is Indiana Jones," why didn't y'all pick up the remaster of Uncharted? Y'all pick up the remaster for everything else. I didn't see a huge uptick in people. Oh, we're gonna show Indiana Jones. We're gonna buy more Uncharted. Y'all didn't do that. PC players didn't even do it. They're playing Indiana Jones though. The Starfield game that people keep using Steam charts to try to say, oh, whether the game is successful or not. The game has 500 pages of mods. If you think that people aren't supporting the game or playing the game, I got a bridge to sell you in Kentucky. I'm just saying, man, like, it's all individual things that you like. Everybody has their own perspective of how shit's going, how shit's moving in this space. But dog, it is funny to see the things the way played out in the defense of, oh, well, Microsoft bought these second and third party things, so it's not that impressive. Who said that they were going to have the opportunity to buy ABK? That is not something that you just planned for. It happened. Coincidentally, matter of fact. Matter of fact, when we were talking about these acquisitions then, that's why this is significant. This is why this is a conversation to have. Because as much as Xbox may be dead in some people's eyes, they're not dead as a publisher. And they're proving the point. People want to play these games. One audience does at least. And I think this same audience would buy Spider-Man tomorrow. God of War tomorrow. There's a point being made here. Opportunities arise. It's smart as a business as well to say, hey, fuck it. Why not spend $80 billion on ZeniMax and ABK and see if we can flush out this gaming thing that people say we don't have enough focus on and really make it a pillar of our business. That's pretty damn significant if you ask me. If it's not for you and this is, oh, well, they're going to do this anyway. Good. But guess who's getting the money this time? It's not Activision just getting the money. It's not Sony getting a cut. It's Microsoft. And I think that's a little bit different. Again, I think it's worth to have a conversation at least. Games are selling across the board. This is, again, why I think that more games should be delivered to more people where they are at. I think the industry is noticing it more and more. I know people always, again, Bong's brought it up as well. Nintendo is the staying power and the main differentiator in this industry. Why? Because you see what people fucking settle for. It's not even that it's on the same level of what the Xbox Ally X is going to be. Not even remotely close. It is a hard time even running Donkey Kong from what we have seen. Hey, maybe they'll patch it out and it's going to play fantastic later. But good God, there is something changing drastically. And I do think the access is part of that change. So that's why this conversation is important. More people can play Last of Us. Maybe I'll finally get factions. Bring Last of Us to Xbox and I'll get factions maybe. They'll finally have enough money.
Maybe Tencent will make a factions.
Fucking maybe that's what I need. They'll make a factions Ghost Recon blend after they get the rest of the assets from Ubisoft. Maybe Ghost Recon's going back to first person because Tencent said, hey, Guillermo family,
They'll take the Tom Clancy brand into the horror zombie genre. They will make a Ghost Recon like horror world, like a zombie world. It'll be faction. That's what it would be great. It would be great. Oh, hey, way off topic, Steel.
Yeah.
Way off topic, but I want to ask the chat real quick. Chat, listen up. It's an important question.
Oh God.
Tell me what you guys tell me if this is a fuck around stage. All right. I need you guys to tell me if you see this as the FA before the FO.
Okay.
I think most people in the chat probably know who Matt Rife is, right? The comedian.
Okay.
Pretty.
Has he been in trouble before?
High freaking profile. I don't know if he has been or not. He's hilarious though. He out of the new comedians, he's up there. Because I love how again during his shows he just talks to people and he free flows it and he still makes it funny as shit. Anyways, I think it's a talent. But anyways, if you don't like Matt Rife, you don't like Matt Rife. But I'm sure most of the audience or most of our chat knows Matt Rife. Again, tell me if this is the FA stage. Is now the legal guardian of the Annabelle doll. He has purchased the Connecticut home and the Occult Museum of Paranormal Investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. Some people just don't.
He thinks it's a joke.
It's an attention. It's a headline getter. Yeah, he's got the money. He's got the money.
So he thinks it's a joke.
Bro. All right, chat. Is he in the FA stage? Is it about to be the FO? He bought the entire museum and the house that it's in, obviously, because it's in a house, if you guys know the story, of the Annabelle doll.
Wasn't that the same one that was taken on a trip?
Yes. This is the one that's touring the country right now, and the main guy died. And he handled the doll, and he died.
So how they took the doll back?
Well, no, because it travels, right? They do like a circus thing where they go around and they have people. But the main house because they have a whole museum there. It's not just Annabelle. It's a whole paranormal museum. Okay. He bought that entire place. He bought the entire complex.
Some people got a little bit more faith. They got a little bit more faith in something than I do, because that's just too much bad juju around me, bro. That's like hosting a portal of demons.
Right.
And you willingly knowing that there's a high chance that there could be something extremely messed up going on there.
No, I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's going there and playing with the doll. Like none of that. Like I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's just purchased it. But bro, that type of energy, I would not.
Why would you purchase it if you're not interested in it? If you're a comedian, why wouldn't you see the funny, in?
Is he going to show up on stage with that freaking doll at one of his shows? Bro, I would leave. I
just don't like the idea of this. Like, this is making me feel away. Like, already.
I know. Anyways, totally off topic. But again, I just saw a post come up with that he's actually purchased it. I was like, oh god.
And Vandal, that's the thing I was saying. Vandal, there's certain things that you don't even have to be religious to have any feelings about. Now, again, I've had personal experience with certain things, and people can write it off and feel however that you want. I always find it interesting hearing the opposing sides. I heard Ty Guy Travis as an example ask the question, if he asks somebody if they believe in ghosts and they tell him yes, that he'll think they're crazy or whatever the case. So something to that extent. And to each their own, and I definitely get it. I'm on the opposing side of that because of things that I have seen in reality, not because I was in a traumatic situation or whatever the case. I know what I saw, and I know what I've experienced. That's why, I'm sensitive to energies and stuff like that. And neither here or there. It's a whole different path that you can go down. But there's just certain things, when things are known to have a bad essence around them, why would you even try it? Right. Somebody says, oh, here's the monkey's paw. You shouldn't mess with the monkey's paw. And you decide that you want to mess with the monkey's paw anyway.
Right.
Bruh. There's a reason why this is like this. You probably you have this voice in the back of your head. It's you probably shouldn't, That's one of those situations where it's you probably shouldn't.
Right.
Decado says, after watching Serpent in the Rainbow, I would never FAFO.
Yeah, classic, bro. Classic. That goes back to Voodoo. Serpent Rainbow.
No, Voodoo's something completely different. That's something else I have.
Oh, again, it's people messing around, bro. It's people messing around.
When we get back to doing things in the name of God, sacrificing animals, I just don't think that we need to necessarily be doing that anymore. I just Just if we got to sacrifice a goat to appease a god, what god are we appeasing? You know, I'm just saying, or the blood of a virgin, whatever we got to do. What are we doing when we start talking about throwing these things into consideration?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily the guy that I want. I'm pretty sure whichever God has protected us, he won't need all that.
Even just to have something documented as documented it is, like, again, you don't have to believe in it. You don't have to believe in it. I'm not here to, it doesn't. But I'm just saying, you have documented instances and you just keep saying, yeah, it's just a coincidence, or yeah, no, that was just something else.
At what point is it not a coincidence? Or the chance of it not being a coincidence?
Exactly. I'm just saying, like, there's been things documented throughout history that are unexplainable to this day, even with modern science. So, I mean, and then we're talking about going all the way back. Yes, were there lots of things that became science eventually where we can explain it? Absolutely, of course, man. But there are still lots of things unexplained that science has no answer for, that nobody has been able to prove otherwise. And we're finding out more now too. So I think things are changing, but yeah, that I would never touch. I would never be a part of that at all. That doll, ever. No thanks. Anyways, sorry, I took us way off track.
I don't have anything else on my list other than shout out to Where Winds Meet. Because apparently, since I was part of the beta test, closed beta test 2, I will be forever immortalized on a statue in Where Winds Meet when it comes to global for being a beta tester, which is fucking dope as hell. So shout out to Where Winds Meet. Unfortunately, it's not coming to Xbox. It's coming to PlayStation, PC, and it's already on mobile. It's out in China. It's supposed to have its global release sometime soon. Well, I say sometime soon. They just did their last closed beta. And anybody who was part of closed beta 2 and closed beta 3, you are going to have your name on a statue in the game for the studio to show support for you helping them bring the game to market. So, or bring the game global. So super fucking dope. Sweet. Stuff I like to see. That's stuff I like to see. Kind of something like Diablo did in a way, appreciation as well. But the appreciation from a dev, especially smaller studios, not having a known game, but seeing that they care to that level is super dope. So hopefully they don't mess it up and they make sure they got my name in there, because I ain't put as much time into 2 as I put into 1, but hopefully they got my name in there from that closed beta 2, and I'll get to take a picture when I get in game with it and see if I can do that. That's gonna be the first thing I look forward to. That's gonna be super fire. Vandal says, has the Bermuda Triangle even figured out yet? I feel like somebody told me about that. Like there's some form of interference or something that is happening.
Well, yeah, there's magnetic interference.
That's why it's that way.
Which they think is caused by something underneath the ocean floor, right? So that's been one of the things. A lot of scientists have said it's overblown how many people have gone missing, or how many people have been reported missing, when it's just been explainable due to rough weather, etc., in the area, and that kind of stuff. But no, has there ever been a full-fledged explanation for some of the disappearances? No.
Like planes and stuff, like.
Well, I mean, there's military aircraft that have gone down. There was a whole.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
there was a whole squadron that got lost in the Bermuda Triangle.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's certain things. Like, again, ships on sea
unexplainable
is one thing.
Yeah. There's just unexplainable things.
Planes, though.
There's plenty.
There's many times it's happened.
Right.
Hey, yeah, there's something. I'm not saying it's the Kraken, but good Lord.
No, and I'm not even saying that it has to be another dimension with some people, a portal, which some people have claimed as well. But there's something there that does interfere with gauges, right? And there is something there. Whatever it is, it could be natural. It could be a natural occurrence down at the bottom of the ocean, right? That causes that interference.
I mean, again, people are saying that there's an Earth underneath the Earth. So
right, in which there's been proof.
Again, there's caves or that full-on area, livable areas underneath the ocean.
There's open water in the Antarctic that they won't allow anybody to fly over anymore. But we have pictures from back in the what was it, 40s, 30s, 40s? We have pictures, aerial pictures of open water in the Antarctic. Okay, all right. And again, the Antarctic's now off limits for no reason. Why?
I mean, again, anyways, again, you go on. These are things that games could need to be talking about.
Of course, there's lots of games that have approached this stuff, but there should be more. There's lots of stories to tell. There are lots of stories to tell if you start looking into that stuff, for sure.
Put your own spin on it. So much potential. But yeah, other than that, I don't have anything else on my list to add on there. Pong, did you have anything else that you wanted to drop in as well? Any late minute hitters? I touched on real quick the Nintendo stuff, but I didn't watch it, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously game wise, there was 2 shows this week. There was obviously the THQ Nordic show, and then there was the
trailer show for Darksiders.
Yeah. So, let's see here. Hold on, I gotta go find my. Here we go. THQ Nordic. Okay, so THQ Nordic. I'll just touch on this real quick. Again, it doesn't have to be a big conversation. But you can go watch the showcase. I've got to go back and watch it in 4K. I haven't watched it in 4K yet. But they announced SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide coming November 18th to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. They gave a new look at Tides of Tomorrow, which I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, you do. It's that action. It's the action game that was shown on. Was it shown on the Xbox stage?
Action game,
bro. If I pulled up gameplay of it, you would.
It's like multiplayer. Okay,
it is supposed to have It's supposed to have co-op in it as well.
Okay. Wreckfest 2 coming to PC early access. So for Wreckfest fans, one of the big ones for me, Sacred 2 Remaster. I mentioned it earlier. Mav and I will be co-oping this when it drops. There's no date on it yet. I got it wishlisted. Sacred 2 is a great co-op action RPG game. Great co-op action RPG game. I am hyped as hell for this. I actually just picked up number 3. It was the only one I didn't have on PC. It's on sale. So if you like Sacred, all the Sacreds are on sale on Steam right now for cheap as hell. You can get number 2. You can get all of them, I think, for like the complete editions. Probably for like $12 right now, $13, something like that on Steam right now. But the remaster is looking great. Again, it's not a full remake. It is a remaster. So much like Neverwinter Nights 2, it has that old look to it, but they're updating everything, control scheme, all of that kind of stuff. Performance, obviously, they're making bringing the res up on the graphics, all that good stuff. Sacred 2 is phenomenal. If you've never played any of the Sacreds, they're all really, really good. Number 3, I think, has got the most mixed reviews because they changed some of the classic formula from the original. People didn't like it. I still think it's a cool ass game. So yeah, go check out Sacred 2.
Did you say Wreckfest 2 is coming to console?
Yes. No, Wreckfest 2 is coming to PC early access.
Oh, PC early access. Okay.
Yeah, it's PC early access. No announcement for consoles as of right now. Obviously, it's going to come. It did wonderful on consoles.
I'm about to say, for whatever reason, I felt like Wreckfest 2 was out already.
No, it's not. Let's see here. The Eternal Life of Goldman. I haven't watched this trailer yet, so I don't know what this one is. Some people are talking about it. It's coming to Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation 5 and PC. Titan Quest 2, talked about this morning in my opening. I've already purchased it early access on Steam right now, $24 on sale right now. It's got a small discount, 10%, 20%, whatever. But Titan Quest 2, great. Again, I can't believe they dropped it yesterday. Eventually will come to console as well. Titan Quest 1 was on everything. The Guild, Europa 1410. This is a RPG sim like game. The Guild has been around for a while. I actually own, I think, all of them now on PC. I have fired, I think, one of them up briefly, but this is like the jank AA Bethesda without the monsters, Elder Scrolls, where you live out a life and you get to choose jobs and you can do crazy shit. You can, you can off people in their sleep.
You're trading with people. Like you can open up a store. You can do all sorts of shit. The guild has been around for a while. That's why I was always interested in it. But the new one, Europa 1410, was announced as well. And that's just wish list for Steam right now. Of course, that game, that series has only been on PC. Gothic remake. They did confirm is coming early 2026. Gothic, another double A freaking amazing RPG, Western style RPG. Think Elder Scrolls, just not quite as big, but they're redoing Gothic 1. It's a full remake. Had my eyes on this. Coming early 2026. Coming to PlayStation, coming to Xbox, coming to PC. You can wishlist it now. Demo is now available, which I'm going to be downloading and I will be trying out on console. Looking forward to this game. They also announced that they're going to be re-releasing the original Gothic trilogy on consoles. Also coming, I think, this year or early next year as well. So you can play the entire trilogy in their original form, and they're updating it's going to be like a remaster situation. So that is cool as hell. I will be for sure checking that out. Gothic Collection, it's called, for PlayStation, Xbox 2020. Oh, so that is 2026. This is a shout out to Hasdor, by the way. Haz sometimes is lurking in our chat, so appreciate you so much, Haz, by the way. Reanimal, coming Q1 2026. I still have to watch that trailer yet. And another trailer to keep your eye on. Go watch it. It's only been announced for Steam so far. Coming early access this winter. Fate Keeper. Go check out this trailer. Steel, not gonna, it's first person, but anyways, first person, dark high fantasy world. Looking awesome. So again, go check out the trailer. Fate Keeper I got my eyes on Fate Keeper for sure. So go check that out. So that was THQ. Let me go back here real quick, Steel, and grab the Switch. The Switch was a down show for all the Nintendo fans for the most part. They didn't really show anything big, and a lot of the stuff was multi-plat as well. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. Here we go. Shout out to Haz again for breaking this one down. He's gonna break down. I'm just gonna read off all the multi-platform shit that was at the Direct. Monster Hunter Stories 3 coming to PlayStation, Xbox Steel, Switch 2, and PC. None of the Monster Hunter stories are on Xbox, are they?
Not that I know of.
It's what I thought. Are they going to bring 1 and 2?
Probably not.
Like, is this a hit?
They're not. They're none of them. I'll listen to Jess talk about it a little bit earlier, and he was saying that none of them are necessarily like.
They're not
connected
together.
stories.
Okay, so they're all singular.
So they can all be played individually.
Well, that was a shock for me that Stories was coming to Xbox. So I was like, okay, that's cool. PlayStation 5, Xbox, Switch 2, and PC. And then we have Once Upon a Katamari. Katamari fans, they're chill games for me. I love rolling around and just picking up shit and making giant. They're the weirdest fucking games in the world. But anyways, they're fun as hell. New ones coming: PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Still, funny enough, I had called this out. And it happened. Like, I had no idea. Well, we saw the new revisionist version of Pac-Man, right? With that weird dark Metroidvania. Right? That new weird one. Game. What did I say? What did I say when we were talking about Steel? I said, this is weird to me. It's cool. That's fine. I hope people like it. It's a Metroidvania. But why not go back to Pac-Man World?
And they did. Yeah. Pac-Man World 2.
Pac World Repack 2. Coming September 26th to Xbox, PlayStation 5, Switch 1 and 2, and PC. Or no, I'm sorry. Xbox, Steam, Switch 1 and 2, and PlayStation. Pac-Man World 2 Repack is coming. Listen, I'm done with platforming. Like in this game.
It's a good one, though.
It does have platforming in it. It's like Sonic Adventures, which I love. Sonic Adventures, you guys don't know. I wish they would do more of that. I may try this one out. I may see if I'm gonna wait on the price and see what they want for this thing. But I like Pac-Man World because it is like Sonic Adventures in some ways. Steel, this might be kind of fun. I just can't believe it happened because I was like, just go do it.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake, Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, Switch 1 and 2, and PC. That is, of course, coming October the 30th. Square Enix is dropping games like crazy because they also have, Steel, Octopath Traveler 0. So if you're an Octopath Traveler fan, coming to PlayStation, coming to Xbox, coming to Switch, coming to PC,
That is coming December 2025. And of course, we know that they have Final Fantasy Tactics coming this year, I think in November still. Like Square Enix is going freaking nuts, bro. Like they are legit going nuts. And Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. This was the rumor we heard that they're going back and redoing the first Plants vs. Zombies. I like Plants vs. Zombies games. I even like the multiplayer. I'll be real. They're fun as hell. I just think they're fun. That is coming everywhere. PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series and Xbox One, Switch 1 and 2, and PC. And then The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales, which is a new IP from Square Enix, is coming next year already, Steel. That's coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Switch 2, and PC. Yep. Looks gorgeous, 2D, 3D RPG, but a new IP, looks totally original. Looks totally cool. Or is this, no, this is the one that's the Zelda-like game. This is the one that's the Zelda-like game. Okay. So yes, people are raving about how this one's looking so far. And then Hella. I don't know what Hella is, but that's coming in 2026 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. So again, Nintendo Switch owners weren't very happy with the show. There wasn't a whole lot of Nintendo there. It was all third-party stuff, most of it multi-plat, but some exciting shit in there. Again, Monster Hunter Stories coming to Xbox is dope.
It's cool. Yeah.
Again, Pac-Man World. Again, for me, Pac-Man World 2 repack, I was like, you got to be kidding me. They're really doing it. It's so cool, man. If you've never played Pac-Man World, go check it out. Just go check out some of the videos.
I need a Rayman remake. That's what I need.
Yeah, Rayman would be dope to have a remake. The animation on that shit was so cool, man. Again, it's not something I would play nowadays, but Rayman, the visuals are so freaking good on that, man. So good.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, so that was a couple of shows, lots of exciting stuff coming. Again, games, and more freaking games, Steel. That's all it is. And again, if you're not interested in any of them, you're not interested in any of them. As always, I'm pulling out like 4 or 5 per show here, which is crazy. And again, just having Titan Quest 2 drop yesterday, Shadow drop into early access was so cool, man. It was so cool. So THQ putting out the games, and obviously we're getting some cool shit from other places too. So
yeah, you mentioned in those showcase. I mean, you mentioned in Tides of Annihilation is dope because I put that right back on my radar. I'm showing gameplay of it, or I have been showing gameplay of it in the background. For those who are interested to see what it's like, and again, this is that more Devil May Cry oriented game, over the top action combat, super supernatural type stuff, but nonetheless, and then also seeing that Darksiders.
No, see, I knew it. No, I didn't say the Tides of Annihilation.
Oh, what'd you say?
Tides of Tomorrow.
Tides of Tomorrow. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's why I don't remember this game. So, and again, it's not that. It's not Tides of Annihilation. I know what Tides of Annihilation is. Yeah, for sure. Tides of Tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, damn.
THQ. Look that one up. Because it's. I don't know what that one is. I wish it was Tides of Annihilation.
Oh yeah, no, that's not that. Yeah. But I'm glad you reminded me of Tides of Annihilation though. so hey. Paul was talking about a different game, but I'm glad to remind y'all about that game. Fuck it, works out in my favor.
Yes, it does actually.
Yobi says Epic won against Google again, make a way for Epic Games. Yep,
we talked about that earlier.
Mentioned that a little bit earlier for sure.
Yep,
good stuff.
Don't know why they can beat Google but can't beat Apple. A little weird.
Apple is a little bit deeper in those pockets, man.
Yeah, a
little bit more in those coffers. Well, if nothing else is on the list, then ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get into our This Day in Gaming segment. What y'all thinking? While we do that, if there's anything else y'all want us to touch on the way as we're winding things down, drop it in chat. I will end this poll and said we got 78% of the people who said they are on board for the beta festivities for Battlefield. And again, you don't have to play. You can just come hang out, watch Living Split Screen. Maybe you want to watch another Saturday show. You can have us on the background, having a bunch of fun, tab it up. I mean, again, we're just going to be talking shit, catching some bodies in Battlefield. And if anything, I'll be streaming it the night before. So plenty of Battlefield gameplay to be coming up on the channel. I'll probably drop it in hour pieces just for your guys' viewing pleasure for those who are interested in that. Maybe I'll do it by game. Who knows? But Can't wait to get into it. We spent a lot of time talking about Battlefield earlier. And again, I wanted to release next week. I'm ready. But nah, we October's a good time. Got family coming though, so it's gonna be interesting to see. But I might have to hold off for a bit, but nonetheless. All right, let's get to it. And of course, it doesn't come up because it is not as cute as me. But there it goes. I got you, Yogi. Let me. What I'll do is let me get this. Let me go through these games, and I'll definitely pop that question in there. All right, so we're starting in 1991. And This Day is Gaming is a section where we go back 30 plus years in gaming history, because as I once said, gaming art should be treated as such, although there's some caveats to that. But nonetheless, it is always dope to look back to see where we were, to kind of try to appreciate a little bit more where we are today, especially in the gaming stratosphere. So on August 2nd of 1991, you had the Genesis release Streets of Rage. There you go. Then in 96 on Super Nintendo, you had Daikaiju Monogatari 2. Daikaiju Monogatari. Daikaiju Monogatari. Shout out to that. Then in 96 on PlayStation, you had Overblood. Okay. Then in 96 on PlayStation, you had Tobal #1. Shout out to Tobal, I guess. Then in 2002, you had on the Game Boy Advance, Super Robo Tizen R.
Love it.
Then in 2004, Flash, you had Peasant's Quest.
Okay.
Then in 2005, on the Game Boy Advance, you had Shaman King, Master of Spirits 2. Shout out to Shaman King.
Did you ever play Tobal, by the way?
No, I've never played Tobal.
Underrated fighting game. I think you would really freaking like it. Like early anime, before it was, it's a very good fighting game. It's like one of those under the radar ones that reach cult status. Tobal.
Let's find out right now. I can see it by gameplay.
Yeah. Did they have some? I think they had some type of.
Somebody 3 years ago enhanced.
Like a quest. Really?
Yeah, somebody got.
Version?
Well, somebody got it on PC through an emulator.
Okay.
Oh, they got it looking crispy through an emulator. But
yeah, I had like a quest mode or something to it too. I think where you collected shit. Like I can't remember for sure. It's been so damn long. Yeah, Tobal was underrated. A lot of people.
Yeah, it's not a bad looking game. It's got a nice little fighting style to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a virtual fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
No, I've never played this game.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I know for sure I never played this. No.
Okay. Might like it. Just say.
Play similar to Tekken.
Yeah. It's got a little Tekken to it too as well. Yeah. It's interesting.
I'm seeing some Tekken moves in there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tobal, damn. That's good. That was kind of dope, actually.
I knew you might appreciate that one. So this is Square too.
Oh damn!
Squaresoft.
They did their damn thing with that. That was kind of
cool. Yeah. Yep. And it came. I was just looking at the original PlayStation cover. By the way, it came with the Final Fantasy set. Was that 6? I think Final Fantasy 6 sampler CD came with the original Tobal #1. Yeah, bro. They gave you demo disc with games. Yeah, Square. Again, all these companies that used to do different things, man, that used to make all different types of games. It's so weird to go back and see that shit, but it's so cool, man. Because they had great ideas.
Yeah, that's super dope. Then in 2007 on the DS, you had Drone Tactics.
Drone Tactics?
Yeah, Drone Tactics on there.
Oh yeah, Legendary, absolutely, bro. I am a 100% tinfoil hat guy. So absolutely, you will find me in all those rabbit holes, bro. And I believe at this point now, I even believe even more that pretty much everything that we've ever heard has some semblance of truth. So yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna touch it when we finished,
Okay.
but
Sorry.
no, you're good.
I
He says,
saw
"Pong
his
and Steel." In your own words, do you believe in the Bermuda Triangles and inner Earths, etc.? I believe in all that and find it fascinating. Yeah, man. And for me, it goes even deeper than that. Again, I hint at it all the time. I believe in the spiritual side of it as well. A lot of those energies, I'm not like as connected as I used to be, especially when I was younger. I definitely, and that's one of the ways that I know that on some level it does exist, because I can tell the difference when I close myself off to it. When I saw certain things and I said, oh no, it doesn't exist, I don't believe in it, I did stop seeing a lot of that. Does it change some of the paranoia, for like example, at night that I may have? That's just outside of being like street smart and stuff like that. There's an additional level of there's something else being there sometimes. And I'm not saying that everybody may experience that or whatever the case. And some people describe it as, hey, you can kind of feel when there's something watching you and there's nothing there, kind of thing. Those kind of essences. Or whether it be relatives and stuff like that. I have ghosts, and that's why I hinted about the things about ghosts and stuff like that. Spiritual pressure, spiritual natures, good, bad energies, being able to walk up to somebody and sense something being off. Some people would say that that's like, oh, it's like that's a natural instinct or whatever. You're making a predetermination, or you're going based off of previous experiences. It's just like, no, there's also like there's a whole other level to that as well. Like, again, when you can tell when somebody feels off or is mad, or there's just a whole other thing, and it can be corny for some people, but I think there is an open side to humans, at least, that we close ourselves off to. And I think that's one of the things that our brain also allows us to connect to, and that we can access, we just choose not to. And again, when you think about the fact that as humans, we use less than 10% of our brain's capacity. I mean, I think it's even less than that, if I'm not mistaken. I may have that number off, but there's just a lot that goes into it, and that you would kind of have to imagine, hey, maybe we are a little bit more connected. There's some truth to, like, I'm not the dude to just go outside barefoot or whatever the case, but there is something to, hey, like when you go to the beach and stuff like that, at least for us, like you connecting back with the earth in a way, and grounding yourself. I think there's stuff to it. So long-winded way to say some of that, but then in 2007 on the Wii, you had Endless Ocean. Then in 2011, you had on the DS, PlayStation 3, and the Wii, Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension. Shout out to Phineas and Ferb. Then in 2012 on the DS and PSP, all Kamen Rider Generation 2. Kamen Rider is a show that I never got into. I see it all like on the off chances, and I think that it would have been something if I would have been more aware about it or had access to it, I probably would have watched. But it's like, it just reminds me of more a Japanese over-the-top Power Rangers. Looks cooler though. It looks like it has some cooler moments though. But what else we got here? In 2012, iOS released Clash of Clans. I remember that being that fucking game did fucking gangbusters, bro. Clash of Clans was an addiction for a lot of people. I touched it for a little bit too, so, but shout out to Clash of Clans.
Spent a lot of money on that.
Yeah, Clash of Clans was different. That one was different. Then in 2012 on the Wii, you had Dragon Quest X. Shout out to Dragon Quest. Oh shit. Then in 2016 on PC and PlayStation 4, you had Abzu.
Shout out to Abzu. Nice,
yeah, a lot of people like that. Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a chill game. Yeah, I love chill.
Then in 2016, PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One released Batman, the Telltale series. A lot of people said they like that.
Telltale.
Yeah.
Underrated Telltale. Yep. When people read off the Telltale, and there's a lot of great Telltales, that one is forgotten about, but actually is not even a big Batman fan per se. Like that, it's really good from the bit I played. Good shit.
Then in 2016, PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita released Gal Gun Double Peace.
Let's go, Galgun.
For some reason, I'm not surprised you know of that title.
Oh, I own it on my PC, of course.
There you go. Okay, there you go.
Oh, come on, man.
Never heard of Galgun.
Just anime, just shooting girls in their underwear with water gun. It's no big
deal. Oh, okay. Bet.
I mean, it's no big deal.
Then in 2016 on Android, you had Modern Strike Online. Then in 2016, on PlayStation 4, you had Overcooked. That's gonna be Pong. He's getting overcooked over there.
It was actually bigger on it's bigger on Nintendo.
I bet it is. That's not surprising.
It's huge. That's where it made it. That's where it made.
That does not surprise me at all. Mm-hmm. That's like the least surprising. I think that should probably be their number one.
It's very tame though. It's more of a mainstream version. Like it's what if you're gonna call any of those games waifu games like mainstream. Those are the ones. Like they're pretty well known because they're pretty tame. They're not
fair.
They're not crazy like some of them get.
Fair.
Then it's still weird shooting water guns at girls in their.
I mean, you know, you can shoot foam at them if you'd like.
Yeah, that's fine.
Then in 2016, you know what's crazy about that? What happened to Foam Stars? They didn't cancel it, but what are they doing with it?
It's a dead game still at this point.
But they usually announce their dead games. I literally haven't heard nothing.
Let's take a look. Is Foam Stars?
I've never seen anybody come out and say that they were closing the service for Foam Stars.
Okay, so Foam Stars is still playable, but it will not receive any new seasonal updates after the current season ends on January 17th, 2025. However, the servers will remain online for the time being, and players can continue enjoying the previous season passes and in-game events. So yeah, they're just not supporting it.
Oh, hey, it didn't work.
Shut down the server.
Hey, there you go.
I mean, it was shocking.
What do you mean?
They didn't release it everywhere, but
a rip-off Splatoon that's locked to one console? Okay.
Hey, look, man, they didn't want to play that.
That was Square's old boss that made that.
Shout to them, man.
Yeah.
Good success. Then in 2016, you had on Linux, Macintosh, and PC, This Is the Police. Okay. Then in 2018, on the 3DS, you had Etrian Odyssey Nexus. Shout out to the Etrian Odyssey fans out there. Then in 2018 on Nintendo Switch, you had Picross S2.
You know how much I love Etrian Odyssey.
There you go. Never played it.
Yep. Classic dungeon crawler. Well worth it.
And it's thundering, so if my power goes off, I'm sorry, guys. Then in 2021 on Mac, PC, and Stadia, you had Grime. You know, feels good when to get dirty out there. Then in 2022 on everything, you had a game called Frogun. Okay. Then in 2024 on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X, you had Closer the Distance. Or Closer the Distance. However you want to say it. Closer the Distance may sound a little bit better. Then everybody's favorite game of the year in 2024 on PC, you had Romantic Escapades, which you may no longer be able to buy with a MasterCard or a Visa. And that's your This Day in Gaming segment.
Speaking of which, GOG gave away 13 games that have been banned elsewhere. So again, you know what type of games they are, but GOG opened them for free. It's a whole bundle deal.
Oh wow!
And it's free. Yeah, because they believe in obviously game preservation. They don't believe in the censorship.
Did you grab them?
So yeah, I grabbed them. I mean, again, am I ever gonna play them? Probably not. I just did it on. I did it. I did it on principle alone because I agree with them. Again, whether it's shit I'll play or not, it doesn't matter because some of it is pretty much trashy shit. Like whatever. I don't do that shit. But yeah, but just want to let everybody know, still available.
I still haven't downloaded GOG yet.
Bro, I have like 300 games on GOG right now, 400 games. Stupid.
Yeah, I haven't downloaded GOG yet.
GOG is so good. So
I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, for the older shit. Again, that's probably why, because you don't like a lot of the older shit. But the way they're going about it, I love all the older shit. So that's, a lot of the shit you can't find anywhere else is on GOG. So, yep.
The other thing that I added on my backlog too as well, that was actually a direct download. And I only say it like this because, again, You can't buy it anywhere, I don't think, right now. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Transformers Devastation. I don't think you could buy that anywhere right now. Outside of like an older console, right? I don't even think you could buy it on PC.
It was on Xbox, sure.
I think that was one of the. I think that's part of those the Transformers games that like.
No, because it was on Xbox
lot.
One. I know that for a fact. Hold on. Let's see. Let me see. You might be correct. It might be delisted everywhere. I don't remember if that.
That's what I was saying. I think we've had. I think we had brought that up in conversation before. Because it was one of those It was one of by Platinum Games too.
Yes, correct, and it's very good. Yeah, it's not on Xbox anymore, so it must have been delisted.
I don't think you can get it anyway. I don't think you can get an Xbox, PlayStation. I don't think you can get it on anything.
Oh, I'm sure if it's
unless you maybe had a physical,
it's delisted everywhere. No, it had to do with the licensing. I'm sure. So.
But yeah, I was able to get that. But it was on PC apparently too. I was able to get.
I was if I own that.
Able to get it.
I don't think I own that. That's cool. That's really cool, bro.
So
because it's a good game.
I want to play it. I mean, I really like Transformers. I like the Transformers games back in the day. I haven't played Devastation. I know some people say it has a little bit more of a kid's aesthetic. I think a lot of people say that about the Gen 1, Gen 2 kind of Transformers.
It was right in line with Gen 1 cartoon. Like, I mean,
and there's a lot more to it than that too. Like they have like other cosmetics, I thought.
Yeah. No. You probably enjoy it, bro. Because it's fast paced as fuck. It's really cool.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. But let me know, chat. I mean, let me know if that's something that y'all want me to throw up there too. Some Transformers Devastation gameplay. That'd be kind of cool. I want to definitely get to it at some point. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, that is episode 196 of the Living Split Screen. I want to thank everybody who came and joined us on this Saturday morning. And again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, through the middle of the show, and now Battlefield 6 beta comes out next week, starting Thursday, August 7th. On Thursday, August 7th, depending on what's going on, I'm going to be streaming gameplay. I don't care what condition I'm in. I don't care what's going on. I'm going to be streaming gameplay. Whether I'm talking, whether I'm asleep, whether I use my my avatar, it doesn't matter what's happening. I'm going to be streaming Battlefield Open Beta. And you guys can come in and get jiggy with me or get your pants soggy, because I hope Pong is going to be ready after he gets off of work. Because I'm going to barge into the Discord of PM and the PM Speculation Ultimate and
I gotta find out.
Crash the show and tell them that we need to be playing Battlefield. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I gotta find out, because if he wants to stream, that's what I'm going to ask him. If he is going to do it Thursday, because that means I'll do the PC version. I was going to do the Xbox version, but I will do the PC version so we can do the show at the same time. I mean,
okay.
We
so
still could do it the same way
I
we
mean,
do.
it's crossplay regardless, ain't it?
It's crossplay. No, I know it's crossplay. It's just if he wanted to do, I don't know if he wants to set it up where our faces are shown or not. I know you and I have done where that's not the case, where we just talk. I don't know what he wants to do, so we'll figure it out. But yeah, one way or the other, I think he's probably going to be down for doing that. If the servers are up and everything's working properly with that game, and we might just wind up doing that Thursday night. We'll see. It's Battlefield.
That'll be a fucking time.
It's Battlefield time.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can find me, Steel Rain, at T7 everywhere. Google's the easiest place to type that information in, and you'll get my information there. Other than that, I do frequent the streets of X, otherwise known as Twitter. Most common place, show all my gaming stuff. Other than that, TikTok, Instagram, more so TikTok than anything. YouTube, personal channel, Living Split Screen. More shorts coming, more videos coming. As I continue to play through Wu Chang, I'm going to upload more content for that as well. And again, I should be past halfway through it. Can't wait to continue to play some more of it. We're loving the challenge from it, having a good time with it. So, yeah, with that being said, Paul, let the beautiful people know where they can find you. And fantastic show, man.
Oh, it was great to be here, man. It was wonderful to be here on another Saturday, man. Again, I can't tell you guys how how much it means just to be here. First of all, with my brother from the Steel, but just to have the chat involved, that we've built up this strong community. Might be a small community, but it's a strong community. And you guys come through every week and make things interesting with conversations, and take us in different directions and all sorts of things. But this is part of my therapy, my weekly therapy, to keep me sane in this crazy, crazy ass world, with all the crazy real life stuff going on. So you can definitely, obviously, find me somewhere. You know how to do it. Pong Soul everywhere. So follow me. I'll follow you back. I am frequenting the streets of crypto recently, more so than anything. And that, you want to talk about another community that has the same fanboyism that this community, fanboyism is everywhere. Tribalism is everywhere. It's nuts. It is nuts. But anyways, follow me. I'll follow you back. Pong Soul everywhere. And then, of course, you guys know the drill. Tomorrow, the Shop Podcast is back on over on PTK Blam's channel. So PTK Blam, Fuzzy Belvedere, myself, and we got Captain Logan. Speaking of Sea of Thieves, he is a huge Sea of Thieves guy. Big time content creator, has been invited out by Rare to Sea of Thieves things and all sorts of things. He's super cool dude. Always has great opinions. Chill guy. So we're going to have a good time tomorrow night on the Shop Podcast. PTK Blam's channel. It starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock Central Time tomorrow night. So be there for that. And then otherwise, next week, it'll start on Thursday. Battlefield week next week, man. It's going to be Battlefield heavy talk as we get into this beta. There's going to be a ton of conversations. I'm sure Steel's going to, again, we're going to be playing it. So we're going to have a lot to get into, but it's Battlefield week. Can't get more excited than that. Otherwise, everybody, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I hope you have a fantastic start to your week. Hug those that you love. And remember, it's never a given. Every day is not a given. So make sure that you do reach out to everybody, but get out there, play what you love. Love what you play in this golden age of gaming, and I'll talk to you all real soon. Steel, get us out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful people, enjoy this Lost Soul Aside gameplay in the background that you can see, swapping between weapons and whatnot. Hopefully you enjoy that, and other than that, y'all be safe. Much love.
Just one question.